Arizona.
That's the starting lineup for the Yellawood 500.
40 drivers, 40 cars getting set to go racing here at Talladega Super Speedway. You know, Todd Gordon, listening to your progressive key drivers and talking to your crew chiefs this morning in the garage area, so much has been talked about the evolution of racing here at Talladega into fuel saving. How do you save fuel here at Talladega?
Well, there's a couple things. I think, first of all, the car that's out front is pushing the biggest hole in the air. The spoiler makes a big hole behind it. If you've ever been driving down the interstate at 65 miles an hour and pulled in behind a semi-truck, you can almost feel it kind of pull you forward. Well, that's what happens to the rest of the pack. The car that runs second doesn't need to use as much power to maintain that speed. The car that runs third, less and less. As you get back fourth or fifth row, you can start to part throttle, and the engine tuners will tune that map so they use less fuel at those part throttle areas. So you can extend your mileage from, say, 5.2 miles a gallon to lead to maybe 6.5 or 6.7 to run fifth or sixth.
And fuel saving on the racetrack could ultimately mean to less time on pit lane. Let's go down trackside for opening ceremonies here at the Talladega Super Speedway.
Please rise as you're able. Remove your hats, and veterans render a hand salute as the Hoover High School Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer today's invocation, please welcome Chaplain for Citizens Baptist Medical Center, Miss Barbara Embry.
Talladega, pray with me. Heavenly Father, we thank you for another opportunity to gather ourselves at the best track on the NASCAR circuit, Talladega, to make memories with old friends, new friends, our family members. God, we ask your presence here as well as your provisions as we cheer on our drivers and their teams, dear Heavenly Father. Keep us safe and in your care, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome Talladega College Great Tornado Band, who is led by President Dr. Willie L. Todd, Jr., and under the direction of the Director of Bands, Darius Swan.
The Yellawood 500 at Talladega is next.
Kyle Larson brings his Chevy in 4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market, performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR.
Here for Ryan Blaney, 4 tires with Sunoco fuel.
From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
We are under the green flag.
Listen up, NASCAR fans. Now's the time to turn your love of racing into big-time prizes. Because NASCAR Fantasy Live is your fast lane to bragging rights.
Furious racing here.
Pick 5 drivers each week of the season. Then complete additional challenges to stack points. All for your shot at the grand prize.
So let's get this party started.
For official rules and to learn more, visit NASCAR.com/fantasy and sign up today.
From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Drivers, start your engines!
Your home for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Green flag goes in the air and we are underway.
On the NASCAR Racing Network.
2 by 2 by 2. They're about 10 rows deep of double wide racing. Taylor Gray to the bottom. Nick Sanchez outside, and they're crashing mid-pack.
It's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on the NASCAR Racing Network. Live on the Motor Racing Network, it's the NASCAR Cup Series.
Let's get a big thumbs up. Get ready to rock and roll past the race cars today, pal. Pull boys, let's execute. Have a good day.
Today, the Yellawood 500 from Talladega Superspeedway. Brought to you by Yellawood. Yellawood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it. By eBay. All the car parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. By National Debt Relief. Helping you become debt-free. By Progressive. Progressive Insurance offers 24/7 protection when you bundle home, auto, and motorcycle. Learn more at Progressive.com. By Napa. Get the brakes and suspension parts you need right now at Napa. By Toyota. For the latest Toyota Gazoo racing information, visit TGRNA.com. And by Sunoco. From NASCAR to your car, Sunoco fuels peak performance.
It's been a big weekend of racing here at Talladega Superspeedway already. Friday evening, Gio Ruggiero picked up his first career NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series win. He took the checkered flag in the Love's RV Stop 225. Yesterday, it was Austin Hill picked up the big win here at Talladega in the NASCAR Xfinity Series United Rentals 250. Today, Kyle, we have 500 miles to determine who is going to wrap up the weekend in Victory Lane.
With 40 drivers lined up on the pit lane, ready to pull away here shortly onto their parade and pace laps once the command is given, looking to get to Yellawood 500 Victory Lane at the Talladega Superspeedway. So much on the line, not only for playoff drivers, but for a lot of drivers outside of the playoffs, looking to end their season potentially on a high note. 40 drivers, 40 stories, going to be fun over the next 188 laps.
It is, and when these drivers take the green flag, fuel saving, Todd, when does it start here at Talladega?
Gentlemen, start your engines. You're going to fire that thing and make sure it fires off and shut it immediately off. You're not going to burn any extra fuel. Even on these pace laps, you're going to fire it up, go for a little bit, let it back down. You're going to save fuel all the way because that might be the 0.2 of a second of gas you don't have to stop for in a green flag cycle.
We go from the biggest track here today. Next week, the Championship 4 will be determined at the smallest track NASCAR goes to, the Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. Completely different set of skills next Sunday afternoon, a race that can be heard here on the Motor Racing Network.
So much on the line today here in the playoffs. Denny Hamlin, of course, will run for a championship in Phoenix after his win at Las Vegas a week ago. Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell, along with Chase Briscoe, they're all on the positive side of the points. Time to find out now who's going to win today's race. Let's go trackside.
Now one more time, everybody.
Talladega, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Here to give the command to start engines is Yellawood 5-star Heroes honorary starter Lulu Gribben. Yellawood CEO Mark Callender and representatives of the company's network of over 5,000 dealers. Take it away.
Drivers, start your engines.
40 cars come to life on the pit lane, set to go at the Talladega Superspeedway. The Yellawood 500 is next.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults age 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco.
Hey, it's Ryan Blaney, 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion. If you know me, I did Black Buffalo Long Cut. Black Buffalo is America's only credible smokeless tobacco alternative. Black Buffalo was established in America in 2015, and it dips just like the real thing, without the tobacco leaf or stem. You can find Black Buffalo at thousands of retailers across the USA near you. Black Buffalo Tobacco Alternative. If it's everything you love about dip, nothing you don't.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-212-2828. 800-212-2828. That's 800-212-2828.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults age 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco.
Hey, it's Ryan Blaney, 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion. If you know me, I did Black Buffalo Long Cut. Black Buffalo is America's only credible smokeless tobacco alternative. Black Buffalo was established in America in 2015, and it dips just like the real thing, without the tobacco leaf or stem. You can find Black Buffalo at thousands of retailers across the USA near you. Black Buffalo Tobacco Alternative. If it's everything you love about dip, nothing you don't.
Cast or on YouTube. Go check us out.
It is race 34 of the 36-race NASCAR Cup Series season, the Yellawood 500 at the Talladega Superspeedway, getting set to go. 40 cars on the pit lane, but Todd Gordon, you were exactly right a moment ago. Fuel saving has already begun for these teams just moments after the command.
Yeah, every second, every little bit makes a difference. And that's where our sport's gotten to, is that you look at it, tenths of seconds separates these guys on pit road of being the leader of your group off pit road or being second or third. Finding that little bit, everybody's on the same strategy.
Of course, the month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Today's Chevrolet Corvette pace car is hot pink, and it is just about ready to pull off the pit lane and onto this massive 2.66-mile Talladega Superspeedway. It is a tri-oval, so if you're a bird flying overhead and you look down, looks like a capital letter D, with the boat outside being here on the tri-oval, banked at 16.5 degrees. Then they go into a short straightaway. That's where the start-finish line is, before climbing the banking of turns 1 and 2, and from there, they'll be picked up by our own Dave Moody from Barry, Vermont.
Thank you very much, Alex Hayden, and good afternoon once again, everybody. This turn 1 and 2 end, the southeastern end of Talladega Superspeedway, banked a whopping 33 degrees. That will support all the speed that they carry around this 2.66-mile tri-oval. The banking falls away from 33 to just 3 as they filter out onto the Alabama Gang super stretch. That can create some tight moments and some frenzied action as they spill out onto the back straightaway. It's a blustery day today, partly cloudy after some rain earlier on in the morning. The wind is fairly gusty at this point, and it's blowing directly from front straightaway to back. That could snuggle these drivers a little bit closer to the safer barrier at the exit of Turn 2 than they might have otherwise planned. We'll cover all the action from high atop the Sunoco Tower here in Turn 2 at Talladega, now to the other end of the Alabama Gang Super Stretch, and Marlboro, New Jersey's Tim Catalfamo.
Thank you very much, Dave Mooney. Good afternoon, everyone, here on the back straightaway at Talladega. This is a very long straightaway that Dave was just alluding to, 4,000 feet long, and it's about 5 lanes wide, and the drivers will use every inch of this asphalt to try to jostle for position as they race their way at full speed to the turn number 3 portion of this big super speedway. Dave mentioned the breeze. It is very gusty this afternoon. That car on the drafting side is probably going to be buffeting a little bit as they work their way down this straightaway, racing to turn number 3. I'll keep my eyes on that. I'll also be watching the double yellow line. That is the out-of-bounds line here at Talladega. Nobody has really been able to be penalized this weekend because of going below the double yellow line, but if you get forced down there, that could be a problem, so they have to be mindful of that as they race in the draft this afternoon. Once they exit the Alabama Gang Super Stretch, they will enter the banking in turn number 3 and race towards Carmel, Indiana's Chris Wilner.
Thank you very much, Tim. Good afternoon, everyone, from a sun-drenched party deck atop turn number 4, where the party has been well underway this afternoon. I'll pick up the field of Hungary Cup Series machines as they climb again that 33 degrees of banking in turns 3 and 4 here on the north end of Talladega Super Speedway. Those packs of 2 and 3 wide bullet trains will continue to wrestle for the dominant line, and in the latter stages of this race, it'll be about making sure you're in the correct lane that's propelling forward. It's a high-speed chess match at 190 miles an hour at race's end. This is the area that you're either 1, playing defense, or 2, positioning yourself for what could be that race-winning move off of turn 4 on the white flag lap. Once they fly by my feet here in turn 4, the field will continue to jockey back and forth down the short straightaway toward that 16-degree bank tri-oval and into the view of Alex Hayden, Kyle Rickey, and Todd Gordon.
And that is one lap around the Talladega Super Speedway as the 40 drivers in today's race have pulled off the pit lane and are about to complete their first parade and pace lap.
So I just switched to Straight Talk Wireless.
Uh-oh, we just ran out of gas.
Great. Gives us time to watch the race.
You know the next town is 50 miles away, right?
Don't worry. I have real unlimited data now.
But how are we going to get out of here?
We got about 200 laps before we need to figure that out.
Get a free 5G phone with select plans and real unlimited data only for a limited time at Straight Talk. Available at your local Walmart and StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk is an official partner of NASCAR. Taxes and fees apply. Requires single line activation on the qualifying plan for network management practices. Visit StraightTalk.com. Copyright 2025 Verizon. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
A trip down pit road and the green flag is coming up next in the Yellawood 500 from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day one. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
We're at the start-finish line.
William Byron on pole position. Green flag is out and we're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin bump.
We're on pit road.
4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel. The race up from pit road is Denny Hamlin. Eric Jones goes off.
We are live from the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station at MRN or NASCAR.com.
Back at Talladega, the field on the banking over in turns 3 and 4, about a lap and a half away from the start of the Yellawood 500. It allows us to take a final trip down the pit lane. Brought to you by Jack Link's Duos. Craving something bold? Try new Jack Link's Duos. 2 jerky flavors in 1 pack, original and teriyaki, jalapeno and mango, or buffalo style and ranch. Grab your favorite in a snack aisle today. Steve Post.
Kyle, Todd Gordon and his keys talked about fueling the race car, and that puts the emphasis on the fuelers. Austin Cindric won this race back in the spring. He handed the checkered flag to his fueler, Andrew Lackey. Andrew absolutely engaged that can quickly, got the fuel in the car, and on that critical last green flag pit stop, got Austin Cindric off pit road quicker than everybody else. Today, Chase Briscoe running for a shot at Phoenix, and he will be relying on Matt Tyrrell. Matt is a former football player, played center and long snapper for Carson Newman University in Tennessee. The skill sets for a long snapper, accuracy, precision, and timing, those same skill sets will be used today as he fuels Chase Briscoe's Toyota. To the midsection of pit road, Jason Toy.
And the other side of that, too, where you got to be precise, that's going to be the spotters working with the drivers here on the racetrack. At some point, from high atop where Alex and Kyle and Todd are, it's a mile plus to the back straightaway over to turn 3. They got to be able to be sharp, got to be quick with the trigger on the radio. And some of those guys, especially with the single car team, we're talking about Beard Motorsports. This is the team that shows up when we hit plate racetracks like Talladega, Atlanta, or Daytona. They always seem to have a shot and find that 62 car up towards the front. Anthony Alfredo paddling today. Rick Corelli, the veteran spotter, will try to guide him towards the front. Brad Gilley.
Another angle on what Steve Post was talking about when it comes to fuel comes from the pit stall of Ross Chastain. I talked with Brooke Davenport, the fueler for that car, about the possibility of how much it puts on him when they need to come in and just get 3 seconds of fuel. He told me, actually, in some ways it's easier. I know my job, 3 seconds of fuel. I just need to make sure I get the can engaged properly to get maximum flow. But when it comes down to making a full 4-tire stop, that's when he says his job sometimes gets harder, because he has to get as much fuel in the car as he can while his team rattles off an 8-second pit stop. Either way, pit road is going to be important as to who goes to victory lane here at Talladega.
And it's not just the green flag cycles for these guys, because when we come to the end of the stage, they're only going to have put in enough fuel to get to the end of the stage. They're going to have to get 19 gallons in these things, while the tire changers get 4 tires on them. They're still going to be waiting on those fuelers. They're going to have to exercise their profession all day long.
Dave Moody mentioned a moment ago the wind that is blowing here. 15 miles an hour consistently, gusting towards 25 miles an hour at times. There are some big puffy white clouds floating overhead after early morning showers here in Talladega, Alabama. Temperature right there at the moment at 71 degrees. Expected not to get too much warmer than that. A high forecasted of only 74 in today's afternoon. So, with that being said, we're set to go racing with the NASCAR Cup Series for the Yellawood 500. And to call the start for the Motor Racing Network from Killingly, Connecticut, here's Kyle Rickey.
Pace car takes a hard left onto the pit lane. 40 teams ready to go in the Yellawood 500. Race 2 in the round of 8 for the playoffs. Michael McDowell, Chase Briscoe to make up the front row. Crowd comes to their feet as one. Here they come, off of turn number 4 into the tri-oval. Green flag is out, and we are underway at the Talladega Superspeedway. McDowell in the outside lane, Briscoe to the bottom. Then it's Kyle Busch, Austin Cindric, Ryan Preece, and Josh Berry as they climb the banking of turn 1.
Side by side into that 33-degree banking. Michael McDowell creeping out to about a half a car length advantage midway between 1 and 2. Chase Briscoe looking for some drafting help. Won't find it. McDowell to the backstretch.
Michael McDowell, the leader, as they hit the Alabama Gang super stretch for the first time this afternoon. McDowell leading that second lane on the outside. Chase Briscoe in a Toyota against the double yellow line in turn 3.
40 Cup Series machines at full song here on the north end of Talladega Super Speedway. Already a third lane beginning to form, about 8th on back. We've got Joey Logano opening up that high lane, has help, drafting help from Ty Gibbs as Bubba Wallace puts the block up top.
He does. Bubba will go to that third lane. Now another car peels out of line to go topside. That's Josh Berry. Side by side for the lead at the start-finish line. Lap number 1 has Chase Briscoe to the inside of Michael McDowell. McDowell gets credit for the lead.
And now a 3-wide move to the outside for the lead. Here comes Josh Berry. It hasn't taken them long to go to the penthouse. Berry in the extreme outside lane runs and guns for the lead.
3 wide, about 10 rows deep as they work their way down the back straightaway at full speed now. Josh Berry up against the outside wall is the leader. He's getting drafting assistance from Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace gives him a nice shove in that upper third lane as Josh Berry takes the lead at Talladega. Chase Briscoe now gets a surge of momentum on the inside lane at the yellow line, but it's Josh Berry getting much bigger help from Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace in that extreme outside lane, tucked in right behind Josh Berry, propelling him to the race lead, coming around to complete lap number 2. That third lane going to the front. It's Berry at the point, Bubba Wallace in second. They are 2 and 3 wide behind them.
Josh Berry for the legendary Wood Brothers Racing Team has the lead, but maybe not for long. The challenge is coming in the middle lane, surging up through the middle. Bubba Wallace now to the lead.
Bubba Wallace puts a fender alongside of Josh Berry, trying to grab the lead away. Now Wallace starts to slide backwards a little bit as here comes Chase Briscoe to give Wallace a push in the middle. Berry, though, the leader in 3.
A couple of Toyotas here in the middle lane in turn number 3 and 4, but it's still Josh Berry leading the outside third lane, the top side of the racetrack, with fellow Ford driver Joey Logano there in help. Here comes Kyle Busch, first car on the inside with a surge.
He does, right at the very bottom of the racetrack with the double yellow line to driver's left. Puts his left side Goodyear's right up against it. Downstairs, he's got Ryan Preece and Christopher Bell lending drafting assistance, among others. They continue to race off to turn 1.
It is Josh Berry with the lead. Joey Logano right in his tire tracks, rides in second. To their inside, Bubba Wallace shows in third. Bottom lane beginning to percolate, led by Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch against the double yellow line. The Chevrolet Camaro of his Mustang continues to work up the back straightaway. Right behind Kyle Busch, a Ford Mustang that is the machine of Ryan Preece at 3.
Yeah, Preece gives a nice shove to Kyle Busch as the inside lane begins to surge now, even with race leader Josh Berry. It's still Berry by a nose, but Busch now gets a full head of steam off Ford to take the lead.
Inside lane has come to life here the last lap and a half or so, led by Kyle Busch, who pulls up alongside Josh Berry for the race lead as they come around to complete lap number 4. It is Busch at the stripe by a car length over Berry. Ryan Preece up to third, and Bubba Wallace there in fourth. They are 4 wide further back.
Wallace continuing to hang in the middle of that third lane and holding his own despite a little bit of daylight between himself and Chase Briscoe on his back bumper.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace right now really does not have anywhere to go. He has got cars and lanes on either side of him. If Wallace checks his mirror, he still has Chase Briscoe directly behind him.
He does, but there is a package, just an absolute hornet's nest into turns 3 and 4. 4 wide for a moment through the middle. Austin Cindric trying to make something happen as Ross Chastain gets squeezed a little bit off turn 4, just outside the top 10.
They give each other some room, if you consider room, about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet. That's all it takes here in the NASCAR Cup Series at Talladega. Back down through the trioval they come one more time. That second lane, the middle lane as it were, led by Bubba Wallace. He gets a fender out in front.
Bubba Wallace by half a car length now, but the challenge comes on the inside lane from Kyle Busch. Josh Berry fading backwards outside the top 5 in the third lane.
Here comes the field out of turn number 2. Going up the Alabama Gang super stretch, still 3 wide all the way through the pack. Halfway down the straightaway, the leader is Bubba Wallace. Chase Briscoe for a moment had second. Now Kyle Busch on the bottom will grab it away.
Yeah, the dancing duo of Bubba Wallace and Kyle Busch now surge on that inside lane, headed to the lead. So it's still Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, Ryan Preece in third. Chase Briscoe bringing that middle lane back here off of 4.
They are wasting little time getting at it here this afternoon at Talladega. 4 leaders, 3 lead changes in the first 5 laps. Bubba Wallace, the first driver to lead consecutive laps as he takes them back to turn number 1 with Kyle Busch in tow.
No practice time this weekend for these drivers, so what better way to figure out what your race car will do than to stack them 4 deep at Talladega.
What a mess it is down the back straightaway. Bubba Wallace has now moved from the middle lane down to the bottom. Wallace is against the double yellow line. Now he changes lanes. He goes up and blocks Chase Briscoe back to 3.
And he does through the middle lane here at Talladega Super Speedway as Bubba Wallace will bring Chase Briscoe, his fellow Toyota teammate, to the front of the field. But Kyle Busch saying not so fast. He's got Ryan Preece tucked up underneath his back bumper on the bottom.
Ryan Preece is right there, and he's got really nowhere he can go. He's being forced to stay right there behind Kyle Busch. Bubba Wallace goes from lane 2 to driver's left to lane number 1. Puts the block on by himself up front. They're 3 wide behind him.
3 wide behind him, 4 wide a little bit further back. but it's all in the rearview mirror for Kyle Busch. He will lead the way off turn number 2 here at Talladega.
Packed Wow works its way out of turn number 2. Chase Briscoe again still in the middle of the racetrack. He is the first car in that lane. Up against the safer barrier. That's where you find the Josh Berry Ford Mustang. Kyle Busch leading the charge downstairs.
The leader's content to go 3 wide from the second row on back as Josh Berry's trying to make that Ford Mustang dark horse 3 lanes wide. He chooses the outer third lane this time off turn 4, bringing Joey Logano and Justin Haley through.
Right up against the outside wall off of turn number 4 for Josh Berry, who reassumes the race lead. 2 and 3 wide racing behind them. Joey Logano lined up just behind the race leader, along with Justin Haley, third car topside, all behind race leader Josh Berry back to 1.
Berry continues to show the way. Drafting help right on his back bumper from Joey Logano. The extreme bottom lane is faded a bit. Kyle Busch trying to rally the troops for a rebound.
And the fast lane continues to change each lap. One lap, it'll be the lane up against the safer barrier that is the fast lane. The next lap, it'll be the middle. This time off the exit of the back straightaway, it's the top lane led by Berry.
And Bubba Wallace got caught through the middle of that second lane as he starts to fall back to Chase Briscoe now outside the top 3. It's still Josh Berry leading Joey Logano, Justin Haley, and they're side-by-side for 4.
Lap number 9 about to go on the board. The front 3 now begin to break, well, single file we'll call it, not really breaking away. So Todd Gordon with no practice here at Talladega this weekend by design. The only laps these drivers got were by themselves in qualifying. If you were fast 10, you got 2 laps of qualifying. How much of these opening 9 laps has it been about just feeling your race car out?
It's just getting acclimated back to your race car. We feel like, we heard Austin Cindric talk about they had the race-winning setup in the spring. It played forward to here. A lot of these guys, it's the notebook they've come back to. This place isn't as much about handling as it is about speed, but getting yourself acclimated to making the moves, how big the runs are, getting that all to slow down in your mind. That's what these opening laps are. And when we see 3 and 4 wide, that's because cars that didn't qualify as well, they want to manufacture some track position before they get into a situation where they've got to start saving some fuel.
Field coming off of turn number 4 and into the tri-oval, a complete lap number 5. Some surprises among the top 5 right now in Shane Van Gisbergen. And toward the rear of the field, Denny Hamlin right now in the 39th spot as we are early on here in Talladega.
Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options now available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-6688. 800-885-6688. 800-885-6688. National Debt Relief, the official debt relief partner of NASCAR.
Josh Berry continues to lead over Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace, Justin Haley, and Shane Van Gisbergen in the top 5. Then it's Chase Briscoe, Austin Hill, Michael McDowell, Anthony Alfredo, and Brad Keselowski, the top 10. Working lap number 12 from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hi, this is Mike Bagley. Join me along with the cast and crew of the Motor Racing Network every Tuesday night for NASCAR Live. Hear exclusive interviews.
I do think that if you're always are scared to make the big moves, you're just always going to be following the person that did.
The best moments from each of NASCAR's premier series.
Reddick slides up the racetrack. Briscoe gets away off turn 4.
An in-depth breakdown to the latest NASCAR news and more. It's NASCAR Live every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern.
Hi, I'm Kyle Petty, and I want to tell you about a place that's near and dear to my heart, Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by getting involved today. Whether you know a child who could benefit, want to volunteer, or join our team, you can be a part of something truly special. Learn more by visiting victoryjunction.org.
Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway, presented on MRN by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance offers 24/7 protection when you bundle home, auto, and motorcycle. Learn more at progressive.com.
As we watch this draft unfold, we've seen drivers go from the back to the front, back and forth a couple of different times. The lap times are indeed beginning to slow down. Now, with the naked eye here at the Talladega Superspeedway, you just can't tell that. We watched the lap times. Lap 6 was the fastest lap so far. They ran a 50.674 second lap around this 2.66 mile speedway. Lap 13 just a moment ago, 51.3 seconds. So about a half second a lap they've slowed down as the fuel saving continues to go on here at Talladega Superspeedway. With Josh Berry, the race leader, the rest of the top 10 at this point. See Joey Logano in second. How about Shane Van Gisbergen up to the number 3 spot after starting deep in the field? Justin Haley is 4th. Bubba Wallace is 5th. Ryan Preece is 6th. Austin Hill, the Xfinity winner from a day ago, runs 7th. Christopher Bell is 8th. Anthony Alfredo 9th. And Chase Briscoe is 10th.
Anthony Alfredo has made some impressive moves, going 4 wide top just a couple of laps ago. Beyond Briscoe, Michael McDowell in 11th. Alex Bowman in 12th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 13th. Brad Keselowski 14th. Carson Hocevar 15th. Then it was Tyler Reddick in 16th. Ty Gibbs 17th. Ty Dillon 18th. Kyle Busch 19th. And Todd Gilliland in 20th.
21st last time by was Ross Chastain. 22nd was Riley Herbst. Field comes by, start-finish line yet again. 23rd, Austin Cindric. Cody Ware, 24th. Ryan Blaney back in 25th. Daniel Suarez is 26th. 27th was Noah Gragson, then Cole Custer and William Byron making up the top 30.
Just out of the top 30, Chase Elliott in 31st, Chris Buescher in 32nd, John Hunter Nemechek 33rd, Austin Dillon 34th, A.J. Allmendinger 35th, Casey Mears in 36th, Zane Smith 37th, Eric Jones 38th, Denny Hamlin in 39th, and B.J. McLeod in 40th.
And that's how they're running currently, presented by Napa, your business's one stop for stopping power. Get the brakes and suspension parts you need right now at Napa.
Josh Berry continues to pull the field around this 2.66-mile tri-oval. Into the tri-oval right now. Top 2 have singled out, but here comes Kyle Busch back to the inside of the racetrack on Christopher Bell for the runner-up spot. That's where the side-by-side racing begins.
Kyle Busch with a solid qualifying effort yesterday. Led the race early, fell back to about the 15th spot. He's on the comeback trail, up to second.
Kyle Busch fighting hard to the inside for the runner-up spot. On the inside is Kyle Busch. To the outside is Christopher Bell. The race later, halfway down the back straightaway, is Ryan Preece. He takes the pack back to the corner.
Kyle Busch now will kind of almost side draft off the left side of Christopher Bell in second. He'll now pull even with the race leader in Ryan Preece. He's got Shane Van Gisbergen behind him. Bubba Wallace as Kyle Busch looks to take the lead off forward.
Back to the tri-oval. Kyle Busch now wants to get back at the top of the leaderboard. He's right now running dead center of the racetrack. Looking to the outside, Ryan Preece is there. All the momentum is behind Kyle Busch. Kyle goes back to the lead.
He gets a big shove from Shane Van Gisbergen. Out into the lead goes Kyle Busch. SVG will follow him through in that middle groove. He'll run second as the outside lane tries to rebound.
So it's 2 Chevrolets now leading the pack again in the middle or first lane towards the bottom part of the racetrack. Kyle Busch and Shane Van Gisbergen tucked up 1-2. Bubba Wallace runs third in that lane.
And Bubba Wallace will try to get away from the side of Ryan Preece. He'll pull away in that third position. He's got Justin Haley right up under his back bumper as Ryan Preece tries to get the outside lane to surge with Christopher Bell, but it's Kyle Busch off forward.
Ryan Preece, first car in line in the outside lane, but trying to hang on to the top 5 right now, has raced his way up to 4th, now up to 3rd, alongside Haley for that 3rd and 4th position as Kyle Busch, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Bubba Wallace go 1, 2, 3.
Justin Haley, always strong on the big tracks, former winner at Daytona. He's made his way to 3rd. He'll go from the middle groove up to the top groove. Tries to go back to the middle, but Chase Briscoe is there.
Chase Briscoe is there, indeed. He is the first car in that middle lane. Right behind Briscoe is yesterday's winner in the Xfinity Series, Austin Hill. The top 4 cars single file against the top side of the racetrack.
The problem Briscoe Logano has, as nobody went with him to the bottom side of the racetrack as Bubba Wallace brings Ryan Preece and Christopher Bell through on the outside. Outside lane has numbers off turn 4 with Kyle Busch leading the field.
Stage 1 here in the Yellawood 500 will end on lap number 60. That means we're just 41 laps shy of that. So, Todd Gordon, as a NASCAR Cup Series crew chief, you've won here 4 times. Pit lane window, I guess the pit window should be about open right now, should it not?
It is. If you're leading out front, running wide open, you're probably somewhere just short of 40 laps that you can run. And right now, we're 41 laps to go on the stage. So we're at the edge of wide open running to the end. You could go as deep as probably 48 or 9 laps if you're saving fuel. So the opportunity to come to pit road does open up here. I would be surprised to see cars doing that. If you come to pit road, you're going to, for the amount of fuel you need, you're going to be on pit road probably, you're going to lose 33, 34 seconds to the leader, which puts you only 15, 16 seconds ahead of the leader if you're in the back of the pack. That gets close enough where they can start to sniff a draft on you and actually pull the pack to leapfrog you when they come to pit road. So I would expect these guys somewhere around lap 40 to start the cycle for everybody.
A couple laps ago, we were talking about Ryan Preece racing among the top 5. He has since bailed out of the lead pack and has fallen to deep into the top 25. In fact, he is 23rd. Brad Gilley, you can add more.
Yeah, if you see right now, he's actually picked up teammate Brad Keselowski. The one thing that he's been encouraged to do by crew chief Derek Finley, save fuel, save fuel. They told him if he runs in the middle, if it's 3 wide, he can save more fuel. If he runs behind cars, he can save fuel. About that time, Ryan Preece had actually driven to the front, but now he has got to be in a fuel conservation mode. That's why he's dropped back and picked up a teammate.
And he is going to just fall in line as the what was 3 and 4 car draft, or 3 wide and 4 car wide draft, says settle down a bit. The front 6 cars goes nose to tail. From 7th on back, they begin to flare out again double wide from there through the rest of the draft. 21 laps are completed. Kyle Busch is up front.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
One last exhale.
Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day 1. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your ticket now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Kyle Busch continues to show the way. What was 6 cars going single file is no more on the Alabama Gang Super Stretch.
Josh Berry now pulls to the inside of Kyle Busch. Berry's got drafting help from Joey Logano.
Logano gives him a shove into turn 3 and 4 as now the surging Ford Mustang of Josh Berry will nip ahead of Kyle Busch, who continues to ride the outside lane with Shane Van Gisbergen, but Josh Berry back to the lead. Here comes Joey Logano now switching lanes to the outside.
Has help down there on the inside, or now the outside lane is a shift wide for the race leaders as they cross the line to complete another lap. It is Josh Berry over Joey Logano. Kyle Busch has faded to 3rd. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hi, folks. Kyle Petty here. I want to tell you about a place that's dear to my heart, Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by making a donation today. Any amount will help kids attend camp for free. Help make a difference by visiting victoryjunction.org/donate.
The Tough Trucks of NASCAR, an exclusive podcast from the Motor Racing Network.
Ron Hornaday, green flag is in the air, and he will take the field quickly to turn 1.
Relive the moments of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from its debut in 1995.
Checkered flag in the air, Skinner wins with the inaugural for the NASCAR Truck Series by Craftsman.
The legends of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Todd Bodine wins 4 in a row on super speedways.
The Tough Trucks of NASCAR, available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Hey, race fans, it's an adrenaline-packed day here at the Yellawood 500. For a 5-star backyard, choose Yellawood brand tire-treated pine. Trusted builders, loved by homeowners. If it doesn't have the Yella tag, you don't want it.
7 lead changes already in the opening 24 laps of today's race. Significant. Why? Well, it's only counted as an official lead change at the start-finish line, and the most lead changes in a single NASCAR Cup Series race all time is 88. It happened twice, and both times it happened here at Talladega back in 2010 and 2011. As a matter of fact, Talladega owns just about every one of the top 15 most lead changes in a Cup Series race, with the exception of just a couple, with Daytona being in there a couple of times.
Seeing a 24-car draft at the front of the field right now, all separated by about 2.1 seconds, and then it's about that gap back to John Hunter Nemechek in 23rd, as for the most part, things have singled down at the front of the field right now. Let's check in on pit road and hear from Jason Toy. He has an update of Kyle Larson, who's currently in the 22nd position.
We were talking earlier about losing the draft up there, and especially with Ryan Preece burning fuel more, being up out in front. Well, one of the things about it, Cliff Daniels, the crew chief for Kyle Larson, radioed to him, said, "You're falling back too much, we're burning more fuel." He said, "I'm trying the best I can. I feel very slow." And Todd, he says he's feeling every single bit of wind gust and everything else out there, and it seems to be hampering him. I know we're looking at him on the racetrack right now. He's caught back up, but mentally, how much coaching the crew chief in the spotter having to do with the driver throughout a race like this?
Yeah, this is one of those pieces you got to let them kind of work it out. The spotter is going to be a big deal of just what he's seeing out of everything else, painting the picture of what he's seeing of all the cars around him. Kyle Larson can see what he's doing in the car maybe in front of him and behind him. The spotter can kind of let him know where everything else is at, and communicating back to Cliff Daniels about what he's got in his race car, if there's any adjustments. But with gusty situations like that, that's not car handling. It's just how we deal with the wind.
Kyle Larson making his 400th NASCAR Cup Series start here today. 6 different drivers have won in their 400th Cup Series start, dating back to 1960. Lee Petty, he did that at Heidelberg. Then Richard Petty did it at Asheville, Weaverville Speedway. David Pearson, Dave Marcus, Dale Earnhardt did it. And Jimmy Johnson, the latest, to it in 2013. He did that at Daytona.
We told you a moment ago things had settled down at the front. Not anymore, Chris Wilner. They are double wide through the field.
What was once the lone soldier of Chase Briscoe on the bottom lane is now ballooned to about 8 cars, and now Chase Briscoe surges ahead. He'll give a shove from Cody Ware to take the top spot off turn 4.
And things begin to shuffle up yet again here at Talladega. The patience level beginning to go away. At the front of the field now, it's the Arby's Ford up front. It's Cody Ware showing the way. He's in lane number 3, which is at the moment the inside lane.
A lap ago, he was shoving Chase Briscoe to the lead. This time he takes his own spot at the front of the pack. Briscoe now gets shuffled to the middle. He's going to go backwards. Here comes Noah Gragson to the bottom for the lead.
Noah Gragson making some aggressive moves. He jumps from the bottom and goes up to the top. He is the race leader halfway down the back straightaway. Cody Ware right behind Noah Gragson. Here comes John Hunter Nemechek to the inside.
John Hunter Nemechek got a shot out of the rear end by Denny Hamlin, who's propelled him to the front side of this lead pack, as Noah Gragson will fight back in lane 2 in the middle with Cody Ware right behind.
Noah Gragson in that middle lane. John Hunter Nemechek on the bottom. Cody Ware led last time by. Don't be surprised there. He led 23 laps at Daytona back in August and is very much a part of the lead battle. That is now 3 wide back in turn 1.
4 unofficial lead changes in the last lap, and there will be more on this lap, to say the least. Cody Ware in the battle for the lead. Noah Gragson in the battle for the lead, but it's John Hunter Nemechek showing the way.
Spectacular racing in the opening moments of this first stage here at Talladega. John Hunter Nemechek changes lanes. He goes from the bottom up to the middle, blocking Noah Gragson, leaving the door open for Josh Berry to grab the lead.
And Josh Berry will do so into turns 3 and 4 in that 33 degrees of banking. Meanwhile, that third lane way up top by the safer barrier, Kyle Busch has found it, so has SVG, as they surge their way into the top 5.
And more sun than clouds here at Talladega right now as they come to the line to complete lap number 30. 30 to go then in stage number 1. Here comes Josh Berry again in that bright blue Aero Ford. He's in the second lane and he wants the lead.
Josh Berry lets it ride now. in that middle lane, but he's got company from Kyle Busch up high. He's got more company down low. They are 3 wide all the way back to the pack with John Hunter Nemechek showing the way.
John Hunter Nemechek in his white Toyota against the double yellow line. He is the leader by just a few feet, but here come the 2 lanes to his right elbow. Josh Berry in the middle and Kyle Busch against the wall.
It's a battle of who got the better push, and right now it's Josh Berry who won that battle into 3 and 4. He gets a shot from Joey Logano in the middle lane, propels him to the top spot, but John Hunter Nemechek in a fight back with Denny Hamlin in tow in that 3rd row.
And less than 15 laps ago, we were mentioning how Denny Hamlin was in the 39th spot. He's up to 3rd right now as they cross the line. 29 laps to go in stage number 1. It is John Hunter Nemechek leading the field in Talladega.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
When we left you a moment ago, John Hunter Nemechek was the race leader. He has since been shuffled back to the 11th spot. Josh Berry back in control here in the Yellawood 500. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Get ready to rev your engines, NASCAR fans. The thrill, the speed, the action. You can now experience it all for free on the NASCAR channel on Tubi. All-day access to NASCAR action, streaming classic moments, iconic rivalries, and behind-the-scenes stories from the greatest drivers. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere on your favorite fast platform. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Find the NASCAR channel on your streaming device and start watching today.
One last exhale.
Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day one. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Back at Talladega Superspeedway, new race leader at the line. Denny Hamlin leads the outside lane, brings the field back to turn number 1 over Josh Berry, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, and Kyle Busch. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. "34 laps into the Yellawood 500 at Talladega Superspeedway on a beautiful Sunday afternoon to go playoff racing for the NASCAR Cup Series. 34 laps into the 188-lap event. That means we're just 4 laps past the halfway mark in the opening 60-lap stage. Kyle Rickey joined by Alex Hayden and Todd Gordon high above the broadcast booth here at the start-finish line. Out in the turns, Dave Moody, Tim Catalfamo, and Chris Wilner. And on pit road, Steve Post, Jason Toy, and Brad Gilly as things are hot and heavy in turn number 1 for the top spot.
Denny Hamlin shows the way, courtesy of a good shove from Joey Logano. Logano in the middle lane, down low now. Here comes Josh Berry.
Josh Berry mixing it up with these drivers at the front of the pack, trying to grab the lead away here at Talladega. The leader this time into turn number 3 is Denny Hamlin. Berry second, Logano third.
Hamlin leads the charge into turns 3 and 4. They're 3 wide from 4th on back. On the bottom lane is Brad Keselowski. Caught in the middle is Kyle Busch. And Justin Haley to that 3rd lane to the outside as they race off turn number 4.
Justin Haley trying to make something happen topside. He was announced earlier this week he will not be returning to that team and that race car next year, looking for other opportunities, but trying to go out on a good note here at the end of the 2025 campaign. Right now, he's the first car on that outside lane.
He is indeed 3 wide in the outside. He's got Riley Herbst in his hip pocket trying to provide some drafting help, but at the front of the field, a rare moment of calm for Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin again leading the second or middle lane up the back straightaway. To his left elbow is Brad Keselowski. He is the leader of the bottom lane. Up top, here comes Kyle Busch with some drafting help from Justin Haley.
Haley got right onto the back bumper of Kyle Busch on the entrance to turn 3, and it's a strong move around that third lane. Kyle Busch around Denny Hamlin. He'll cut back down to lane number 2 and lead that middle lane off turn 4 in a drag race with Brad Keselowski.
A lot of momentum for Kyle Busch at the exit of turn number 4 with some drafting help from Justin Haley, and then Busch bailed on Haley. Will now lead the second lane and cut in front of Denny Hamlin. Now has Brad Keselowski to his left elbow for the race lead.
Kyle Busch now in that middle groove. Brad Keselowski hugging the double yellow line on the bottom of the racetrack with drafting help from Chase Briscoe. Here comes Brad Keselowski for the lead.
Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch wheel to wheel for the race lead. It's Keselowski again. The double yellow line is his best friend. That is where he runs right now. Chase Briscoe giving him a push back to turn 3.
And that'll help Keselowski lead that bottom lane right on the yellow line in turns 3 and 4. They're 3 wide from third on back as Kyle Busch tries to get a push in that middle lane from Denny Hamlin. But Justin Haley has other ideas. He's got Ty Gibbs in that outer lane.
Things really getting hot now in the middle of the pack as 3 different lanes have broken out again, and the entire field, with the exception of the front 4, are at least 3 wide. The leader at the bottom side of the racetrack. As a matter of fact, 4 clear as they work their way to turn number 1.
Brad Keselowski won his first NASCAR Cup Series race here at Talladega. He'd like to win his next one as well. Long way to go, but he's got a strong Ford Mustang Dark Horse.
He does indeed. Watching John Hunter Nemechek, he a few laps ago got shuffled out of the draft and has now been able to fight his way back up to third. Chase Briscoe 1 spot ahead of him in the runner-up spot.
It's the Ford of Brad Keselowski, Toyota Chase Briscoe, Toyota of John Hunter Nemechek, and a Chevy of Michael McDowell. Your front 4 cars single file. Moves being made deeper in the field as we get closer to green flag pit stop.
2 and 3 wide racing further back. Everybody stays on the racetrack this time by. They'll come around to complete lap number 39. Caution free so far in the Yellawood 500. Brad Keselowski at the point over Chase Briscoe, John Hunter Nemechek, Michael McDowell, and Kyle Busch. And for now, Dave, single file on the bottom at the front.
It is single file among the top 3 or 4. Double file back through around 15. 3 wide on the outside from there back, led by Justin Haley.
And those top 3 cars that Dave referenced, single file at the bottom of the racetrack, remain Brad Keselowski, Chase Briscoe, and John Hunter Nemechek. Briscoe giving Keselowski a huge shove into 3.
And those 2 have broken away from the remaining of the field by about 3 car lengths as they enter the north end of the racetrack. It's still Keselowski with Chase Briscoe. Here comes John Hunter Nemechek and Kyle Busch leading that outside lane.
With 40 laps complete, 20 to go here in the opening stage.
Hey race fans, it's an adrenaline-packed day here at the Yellawood 500. Yellawood brand pressure-treated pine is known by homeowners and trusted by builders because of its high standards, unrivaled protection, and naturally beautiful appearance. Stunning decks and breathtaking outdoor building projects set the stage for lasting memories with family and friends. So, for your own 5-star backyard, start with Yellawood brand products. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
One last exhale.
Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day 1. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
From Talladega Super Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Jeff Gordon wins the Daytona 500.
Jeff Gordon's rise to one of NASCAR's all-time greatest drivers was one like no other. Relive Jeff Gordon's journey to the NASCAR Hall of Fame with the exclusive MRN podcast, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career. 93 Cup Series wins, 4 Cup Series championships, and 3 Daytona 500 wins. A career rivaled by few others. Check out MRN's Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
NASCAR fans, the time is now to turn your love of racing into free tickets, merchandise, VIP experiences, and much, much more. Rack up fan rewards points by watching races at home, playing fantasy, completing challenges, and visiting tracks. Then redeem your points for epic prizes. You are in the driver's seat. What are you waiting for? Sign up for the free NASCAR Fan Rewards loyalty program today at NASCAR.com/fan rewards.
Working under the green flag here at Talladega Super Speedway. The field has bunched right back up together, 2 wide for the race lead up off of turn number 4. We look up off the corner, and here comes a handful of cars. On the brakes, slowing down to 55 miles an hour. Green flag pit stops about ready to begin. Brad Gilley.
John Hunter Nemechek, the first of this Toyota group, and a little bit of Ford and Chevy to come on to pit road. He is getting fuel service only. Shane Van Gisbergen, he also brings his car in. Fuel only for Van Gisbergen. Jason Toy.
Cody Ware comes in. They're going to go right side tires, fuel left side. Sunoco fuel going in. Ty Gibbs is in. Sunoco fuel only for him. Steve Post.
Chase Briscoe is in. No fuel only for Chase Briscoe. Same call for Michael McDowell. Same for Josh Berry. Fuel only stops and more crew members on pit wall. We'll get more stops, I believe, next time by.
So 10 cars on the pit lane that time by here at the Talladega Superspeedway, continuing under the green flag, expecting the second round of stops with the second group off of turn number 4. And here they come, hard on the brakes, off of the corner, and there's about 10 more heading toward the pit lane, Brad.
Here's the one where Kyle Busch is going to get his service. He brings in his Cheddar Chevrolet to the attention of his crew. It's going to be fuel only for Kyle Busch. Also, Bubba Wallace brings his Toyota Camry in. Fuel only for him as well, Jason Toy.
Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin is in. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is in. Only getting Sunoco fuel. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is down the way. Christopher Bell. Also Justin Haley with fuel only. Steve Post.
Fuel only for Tyler Reddick. Fuel only for Carson Hocevar. Fuel only as well for Ty Dillon on this round of pit stops.
2 speeding penalties are being handed out already. One of them goes to the car of B.J. McLeod. The other one to Chase Briscoe. Briscoe is busted for speeding on pit road. They're going to have to do pass-through penalties here as we continue under the green flag. Brad Keselowski is the race leader. He's going to continue on right now and stay on the racetrack. Single file, but Dave, they are huddled up at the bottom of the speedway.
Right down on the double yellow line as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. Joey Logano riding in second spot right on the back bumper of Keselowski.
Here comes that pack, single file, about 10 or 12 cars deep, headed up the Alabama Gang super stretch. Brad Keselowski leads this pack. Joey Logano behind Keselowski, Gregson, Stidrick, and Byron.
They're all lockstep on the bottom side of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. Keselowski still leading Logano and Noah Gragson. Austin Cindric back in that 4th position. We'll see if they duck onto pit road this time. They do not. Nope, there they go. Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, and more hit pit lane.
Add Kyle Busch to the list of drivers that were speeding on the pit lane during this round of pit stops. He'll have to serve a penalty as the third group of cars begin to make their way onto the pit lane, Brad.
Joey Logano told Pitt at the back of the box. He did just that. It's going to be about 5 seconds worth of fuel for him. Also in, you have got Ryan Preece. A little bit of trouble getting fuel in the car. A much longer pit stop than they wanted, Jason Toy.
Well, a longer pit stop for Brad Keselowski. He led out front, so he burned more fuel. He is down and away. Also making pit stops, Noah Gragson with fuel only. Steve Post, anybody in front of you?
Yeah, we had Cole Custer and Chris Buescher about got together. They both had to slam on the brakes. Buescher got fuel only. Also, Cole Custer, fuel only on this round of pit stops.
Here comes Chase Briscoe back to pit road to serve his pass-through penalty for speeding on the pit lane. Again, Kyle Busch has been busted for speeding on pit road. Continuing on with more green flag pit stops, we go back to Brad Gilley.
Here here on my end of pit road. William Byron comes in for the first time. Also, we see Daniel Suarez, teammate Ross Chastain as well. All those cars now out of their pit box with Sunoco fuel. Jason Toy.
Bunch of Chevrolets. Hendrick Motorsports making their stop. Here goes Chase Elliott. Sunoco fuel. Same thing for Kyle Larson. Also, Austin Dillon in on the middle section. Steve Post.
Alex Bowman, the only driver in. Jacob Connolly, the fuel man. 5 seconds of fuel. Down and away. Fuel only for Alex Bowman.
7 drivers in this time by as we stay under the green flag. Who has not pitted yet? Well, you can add Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney, Zane Smith, and Todd Gilliland. They are the only 4 among the leaders that have yet to stop, and here they come now, hard on the brakes off of turn number 4, making their way toward the pit lane, and Ryan Blaney is the first one to his box.
Ryan Blaney has the first pit stall as you come off of the racetrack. This was a short 2 seconds of fuel. He's already down and away with Sunoco. Jason Toy.
Todd Gilliland makes the stop, hits it perfectly. A lot of debris on the front grille. They'll try to blow it off. They count it down to 4 seconds. Sunoco fuel for Todd Gilliland. He's down on the way. Steve Post.
Austin Lackey did it again. The fuel man for Austin Cindric. He held that fuel in there. He took off. 1 crew member standing at the outer edge of pit road, making sure that Lackey and that fuel can did not make the pit box. Austin Cindric gets fuel, as well as Zane Smith in this final group on this pit sequence.
Kyle Busch now making his pass-through penalty. Ross Chastain has been busted for speeding as well on the pit lane. He too will have to make a pass-through penalty. And Todd, you mentioned it. It's about how quickly you can fuel the car, but the drivers, we've had, 4 of them here in this opening pit stop, get caught for speeding.
Yeah, execution. That's a big deal. You're trying to save every 10th of a second. The other piece, it's a challenge. The tire pressures are all built up. It's not cold tires. So running all your lights, you may be just a tick faster because you've got a tire that's fully inflated and showing this up. We've had a few pit road penalties.
Carson Hocevar gets to the bottom of the racetrack off of turn 4 along with Ross Chastain as they'll make their way onto the pit lane. We'll see how things cycle out. A.J. Allmendinger is at the front of the field over Noah Gregson, Joey Logano, Chris Buescher, and Eric Jones as they cross the line, as some of the drivers that were busted for speeding on the pit lane continuing to serve their penalties. Here for Chastain, for Hocevar, he's making a pit stop down on pit road as the leaders exit turn 2 and race up the back straightaway. Will complete 50 this time by, closing in on the end of stage 1.
Yeah, this is an unscheduled stop for Carson Hocevar. He was on the pit lane back on lap number 44, had to come back here on lap number 49. Steve Post, what's the issue?
He had a vibration on the right rear when he drove by the spotter. The spotter said the right rear is up, but it was a vibration, and they made the call. Luke Lambert said, bring it down. Let's put 4 new tires on. Carson Hocevar, second stop, and he's down and away.
He'll be all by himself on the racetrack, just trying to hang on to the lead lap for 11 more as we get toward the end of stage 1. It is Noah Gregson at the point.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-212-2828. 800-212-2828. That's 800-212-2828.
Are you ready for sights, sounds, and speed that'll shake you to your core? To see NASCAR stars like Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, and Ross Chastain attack the asphalt? Are you ready to make memories that'll last a lifetime? Yeah? You're ready. Then we got one more question. What are you waiting for? To experience the thrill of a NASCAR race in person, visit NASCAR.com/tickets.
B.J. McLeod about to get swallowed up by the leaders on the back straightaway. He'll go to the outside. Leaders double wide formation, and in some
trouble, turn number 4. Here comes the field as it flies apart. Cars hitting the wall on the outside. We've got multiple cars involved. Noah Gregson with a heavy impact. Chase Elliott involved. Austin Cindric involved in this one. Austin Dillon as well. Cars scattering to the bottom of the racetrack with a major pileup in turn number 4.
While starting to lap the car of B.J. McLeod, not sure if that disturbed the pack, Chris Wilner, as they were trying to move around the lap traffic while race 2 and 3 wide at the same time at the end of the super stretch.
Yeah, right as they entered turn 3, Kyle, Noah Gregson just getting turned down the hill. He shot back up into the outside retaining wall, and that sparked a chain reaction that also involves playoff driver Chase Elliott, who rolls by me. Hood up the front hood is completely tore up, the right front as well. We also have a car smoking as the driver climbs out of the race car. Looks like A.J. Allmendinger, who's crawling out of the side of his race car on the ground as smoke billows from his Chevrolet. Austin Cindric also slowly coming by my feet as other cars, including Noah Gregson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and more, continue stopped in turn number 4.
Chase Elliott, playoff contender, has a very battered nose of his blue Chevrolet. He brings it to the attention of his crew. Let's go there.
Go to the right front side. They're going to take a look at it. Matter of fact, they'll start off in the middle towards the radiator, but heavy right front damage, especially around the suspension for Chase Elliott. The Napa hood pushed up so high, you can't see where that ends and the roof of the race car begins. They got a lot of work they're going to have to do if they're going to have to try to get out and get as many points as they can here for Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott, one of about 3 cars on the pit lane right now, including Austin Cindric, who's come to a stop in his pit box as well. A lot of damage fixing going on as we're under caution for the first time here this afternoon due to a multi-car crash up in turn 3. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
We're at the start-finish line.
William Byron on pole position. Green flag is out and we're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin bump.
We're on pit road.
4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. The race out from pit road is Denny Hamlin. Eric Jones goes off second.
We are live from the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship-caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
A multi-car crash up in turn number 3 has us under the caution flag for the first time after Eric Jones got into Noah Gregson. A.J. Allmendinger became collected along with 3 or 4 other cars, including Chase Elliott, who remains on the pit lane, continuing to work on that car. And Steve Post, Austin Cindric.
Kyle, that was the darndest thing I saw, and Austin Cindric is climbing out of this race car now. He was bringing it down pit road. Now, pit road speed is 55. He was going well below that. There's all kinds of left side damage on it. He got in the pit box just before his pit box, and he steered to the left to try to turn into his pit box, and that car veered all the way to the left and went right into the pit wall. He got into his pit box, but the car is right up flush against the pit wall, and they're going to use a tow truck to get out, to get that car out from the wall down here. So Austin has climbed out of the race car. He'll have the mandatory ride to the care center down here, but I've never seen one bounce off the wall like that down here on pit road, and this car is right flush against the wall. Eric Jones also was doing getting some pit work down here, but Cindric's car, they're trying to figure out what happened on the steering on that car that put him in the fence down here as the Steps race recovery tow truck moves into position.
It all started in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Eric Jones got into the back of then race leader Noah Gregson. They both got collected, obviously, as Austin Cindric, Austin Dillon got some of it. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and championship playoff contender Chase Elliott got a big piece of that crash as well. As cleanup, Chris Wilner continues there on the apron up off of turn number 4.
A lot of safety officials down here on the bottom side of turn number 4, Alex. The Noah Gregson car, that's the Justin Haley car that is absolutely mangled, getting drug off the racing surface by the Steps record. Still have Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s car being loaded with the front end up off the ground on one of the wreckers as well. He has since climbed out of his machine, but a frightening scene for A.J. Allmendinger, who was able to climb out of that burning race car. He was one of the drivers caught up early in that accident, hit heavy with the right front on the outside retaining wall, and then as he came by my feet here at the entrance to pit road, the car just caught fire, smoke just billowing from his Chevrolet, and AJ, after a couple of moments, you could see him just climbing and diving out of the left side window, and was attended to by the AMR safety team, but he was able to walk away and head over to the care center. So frightening stuff over here in turn 4.
Really was. I'm glad to see AJ kind of get up and begin to walk away. Todd, we just wrapped up a cycle of green flag pit stops there. Any idea how all this kind of rubber band effect got these cars back together to get them in this position?
Well, you get to the point you've got 10 laps to go in the stage. You've had your green flag stop. Now you're trying to make track position, and it looked like Eric Jones was trying to push on push Noah Gregson forward. Got staggered right, which is tough on a car as you're engaged to, especially in a corner. Looked like he kind of worked right. That turned Noah Gregson down the hill, spun him out to start this right at the front of the field.
It did. Now will put us under the caution flag for the first time today with just 6 laps to go here in stage number 1 of the Yellawood 500 with this multi-car crash. Gives us an opportunity to visit with a couple of VIPs here with Yellawood and the Talladega Super Speedway. And Blair, Lulu Gribben, welcome here to the broadcast booth and welcome to Talladega.
Thank you for having us. We're so thrilled to be here.
Absolutely. Now, you guys are part of the Yellawood program, the 5-star hero here. Just what does it mean to be selected to be 5-star heroes?
It is such an honor to be selected to be Yellawood's 5-star hero. Lulu and I get asked all the time, you know, you're such an inspiration, and we just say we're living our lives and trying to make the world a better place for amputees and limb loss different individuals like Lulu.
It started with an incredibly difficult moment. Share a little bit about what happened and how it led to the Lulu Strong Foundation.
So Lulu was in the hospital in Pensacola for about 5 days, and my husband and I made the decision to take her to Charlotte for 2 world-renowned hand doctors there. And what we quickly learned is that the process that they do is basically an anomaly for most amputees. They use a virtual reality technology to help with phantom limb pain for the hand, which there is not the virtual reality for the leg. So Lulu had a lot of phantom limb pain, which is excruciating and hard to watch your daughter go through. And so we thought that, you know, we'll start Lulu Strong Foundation to make the world a better place for amputees, doing research for the advancement of technology. Our first goal is to raise funds for the virtual reality technology for the leg, so that hopefully others can have the same experience that Lulu had.
No question. It's a fantastic thing you both are doing. Lulu, amazing strength, amazing courage. What inspires you to keep moving forward and to help other people?
I wake up every day ready to conquer the day, and I just choose to get better for my family, for my friends, and I really just try to be myself and be confident in who I am and continue to strive and reach for the highest of goals that I can go for myself.
You've had an amazing day here already. I know you've gotten to do a lot of cool things, from the green flag to VIP tours in the garage with the world's greatest tour guide and myself. You guys have had a lot, shameless promo, right? You guys have had such a fun day. What has been the highlights for you so far here today?
This day has been amazing. I think it was so cool giving all of the drivers high fives when they were loading up on the trucks. Was also an honor to be able to say, drivers, start your engines. And this day has just been such an experience, and I'll be sure to remember it forever.
Absolutely. Thank you. And so much that you're doing to help people around the country and around the world. So people listening today, there's a bunch of them. How can they support you and Lulu Strong Foundation and the work you're doing?
They can go to my website, lulustrong.com, and they can spread the word of my foundation. They can donate. I also have an Instagram account if they want to follow me and get updates on me, and really just support me in any way they can would be amazing, and it's much appreciated.
And we appreciate the both of you. Thank you so much, Ann Blair, Lulu Gribben. Thanks so much, the Yellawood 5-star heroes here in the Yellawood 500. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank
you.
You were my highlight of the day.
You're a rock star, and thank you. There'll be a little something extra in your Easter basket coming up for that one there. Pit stops are beginning. Go downstairs to Brad Gilley.
Justin Haley just treated and released from the infield care center. That one almost seemed to have come out of nowhere. What did you see?
Yeah, I'm not sure. They just obviously pushing hard for the end of the stage there. So, yeah, we'll try again next week.
All right, Justin Haley spent a lot of time out front. Early exit from Talladega.
Kyle Larson made his way down to pit lane, picked up a couple of spots on pit road. Cliff Daniels jumped on the wall to supervise everything to make sure it was good. Same thing for Denny Hamlin. got 4 tires, and rolled their way back out with Sunoco fuel. Steve Post.
Pit stops here were kind of the old school, flip the script a little bit. Get your stop done here now that would normally be at the end of the stage, and that's what we had. We had Ty Dillon was in. We had Josh Berry in getting pit service. Chase Briscoe was in getting pit service as well. A few others down pit road. Cole Custer in getting service as well. So these drivers doing that, what would be end of stage pit service here on lap number 56. 4 tires, Sunoco fuel for everybody in that category.
And those drivers will close in at the tail end of the field that have just visited the pit lane as Chase Elliott climbs out of his car in the NASCAR Cup Series garage. They had a tough time pushing that car back to the garage with all the crash damage, but looks like Chase out of the event here this afternoon and is shown in the 40th position. We'll have a deep hole to dig out of or climb out of next week at the Martinsville Speedway in Virginia.
Yeah, he will. At the moment being scored 62 points out of the cut line with that one race remaining here in the round of 8. It's a difficult pill to swallow, Todd. You're riding along doing your thing, but it's kind of the way it is here at Talladega Superspeedway. One problem between someone else and another driver, and you can easily be swept up in it.
Yeah, tough situation when you're just a victim of circumstances that happen with other cars, and you know, this place, it's just, they become big when you see it, and especially when it happens with the lead 2 cars. Noah Gragson was leading that outside lane, and AJ Allmendinger was the inside of it, and it happened from there. So tough day for Chase Elliott. They'll just have to go win next weekend at Martinsville.
Field coming off of the tri-oval now, getting the 1-to-go signal. Drivers selecting their lanes inside and out as we go to the care center and hear from another one of the drivers involved in the incident up in turn 3.
Very disappointed Noah Gragson out of the infield care center right now. What happened out there on the racetrack? What can you tell us?
Yeah, we started towards the back, 36th, and ran a really good, first run, and then came down pit road, executed that really well, and then myself and the 6 team, we were both out front leading the front 2 rows, and the 43 was pushing me really, really hard through the corners, and it's just unfortunate. It's early, so you sometimes take those pushes, late in 3rd stage going for the win, but it's unfortunate it was the 1st stage, took us out of contention early, but just hit the bumps going through 3 and kind of started wheelbarrowing me down the back straightaway, and just got shoved in the wrong place at the wrong time. So unfortunate. Our car was really fast. We were leading the 2nd lane there, and just kind of been the story this year, but we'll keep on digging. 2 more left.
All right, tough short day for Noah Gragson here at Talladega.
Yeah, it was, and he's just like everybody else, frustrated the way things happen there. As Kyle pointed out, got the 1 to go just a moment ago. So when we get to the line to take the green flag, it will be a 2-lap run to the end of stage number 1 and valuable stage points on the line, specifically for the driver being scored at the front of the field, and that's Joey Logano, who came into today's race below the cut line. Logano doing what he needs to do, at least early on, but he still has 2 laps to go with the rest of this field, Kyle, just to figure out if they're going to be able to score points or not.
Yeah, he was 24 points below the cut line coming into tonight, trying to pick up 10 of those points back here with a stage win. He'll lead the field to the restart zone here in just a moment. Off the racetrack right now, we just heard from Noah Gragson in 34th. A.J. Allmendinger collected in that incident, along with Eric Jones, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Justin Haley, Austin Cindric, and Chase Elliott. Put it quite a dent in the field size here as we get set for the restart with Logano and Ty Gibbs bringing the field back to the green. 2 laps to settle it here in stage number 1 at the Talladega Superspeedway as the field comes up to speed in their rows of 2 and begin to arc into the banking of turn 1.
Joey Logano has spent most of the afternoon so far pushing others into the lead. Now he's got a chance to take the top spot for himself, but it's a side-by-side battle. Logano down low, up high is Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs in his black Toyota alongside of Joey Logano racing for the lead halfway down the back straightaway. It's Ty Gibbs who will get to the front, courtesy of John Hunter Nemechek.
Those 2 continue to lead the front pack here as Ty Gibbs assumes the race lead. Here comes a strong move to the inside, a nice block by John Hunter as we funnel off to corner number 4. It's Ty Gibbs leading John Hunter, Joey Logano, and here comes Tyler Reddick.
Oh, it's feisty at the front of the field right now. At the bottom of the racetrack is John Hunter Nemechek because Ty Gibbs drifted topside. He puts the block on Tyler Reddick. He's got a full head of steam right there as Ryan Blaney has emerged now in the top 3.
Gibbs Monster Energy car throws the block on on the Riley Herbst Monster Energy car, the Reddick Monster Energy car. They go first and second down the back straightaway.
Two black Camrys at the front of the pack right now. It is Ty Gibbs, the leader. Tyler Reddick trying to take it away, going left and right up the back straightaway. Reddick jumps up to the top and gets alongside Gibbs.
Strong move for Tyler Reddick, who's got Ryan Blaney in his trunk as he tries to push him in the top lane in turns 3 and 4. Pay window is open for stage points here off corner number 4. Neck and neck, two Monster Energy cars on Ty Gibbs and Tyler Reddick.
Side by side through the field, and especially at the point, looking for a stage win here. Final lap of stage 1. Tyler Reddick to the outside, Ty Gibbs to the bottom. At the line by 4 1/1000ths of a second. It is Ty Gibbs picking up the stage win, his second of the season and first here this afternoon at the Talladega Superspeedway to begin lap number 60. It is Ty Gibbs, the race leader and stage winner over Tyler Reddick, John Hunter Nemechek, Ryan Blaney, and Bubba Wallace, the top 5. Then it's Joey Logano, Zane Smith, Michael McDowell, Carson Hocevar, and Christopher Bell, the top 10. That's the top 10 finishers in the stage, presented by Sunoco. From fueling your favorite NASCAR teams to filling up at the pump, Sunoco is trusted to help vehicles perform at their peak. Sunoco, performance is what we do.
Just like a pit crew helps a driver reach victory lane, Ally helps you reach your financial goals. Ally has tools like savings buckets to keep your savings on track and savings boosters to put a little extra gas in your tank. Visit Ally.com to learn more about how you can grow your money fast. Savings buckets and boosters are features of the Ally Bank savings account. Ally Bank, member FDIC.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
NASCAR Live isn't just Tuesday nights. On Thursday, we go wide open with some of the sport's biggest legends.
Dover's so good that even concrete couldn't ruin it.
And some of NASCAR's rising stars.
I don't like getting drove in the back of, and I honestly don't like doing it, but you're not buddy-buddy with everybody, and I've had to learn that.
NASCAR Live Wide Open has you covered from the rookie class all the way to the Hall of Fame. Subscribe now wherever you listen to podcasts.
We are the voice of NASCAR.
The green flag is in the air, and we are underway. The great American race.
The Motor Racing Network. NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and Craftsman Truck Series Racing live on your hometown radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com. Martinsville, Talladega, the Chicago Street Course. We have the side-by-side action and last lap passes for the win.
Photo finishes. Ryan Blaney will win.
The voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
Back at the Talladega Superspeedway under caution for the second time today due to the end of stage number 1. Let's hear from a driver that was involved in the first caution a couple laps ago, A.J. Allmendinger's with Brad.
A.J. Allmendinger out of the car. For us, it looked like a very scary moment. Can't imagine what it was like for you with the car up in flames. How are you doing? What can you tell us?
I'm okay. It definitely knocked the breath out of me and got out of the car because it looked like it was catching on fire there. But I'll be sore tomorrow, but I'll be okay. But yeah, I mean, it's this place. I always make the decision to run to the back, and then if we can get to the front after the pit stops near the end of the stage, we're gonna run hard. And hell, we got to the lead. Our black tire Chevy was really fast leading there. Joey was doing a fantastic job. He knows how to push. He was pushing in all the right areas and giving me a break in the wrong areas. And fortunately, it looked like the outside lane didn't have that same plan. But at the end of the day, it sucks to happen this early. I always kind of expect the worst here, and you hope for the best. We got the worst. It sucks that it happened so early, but at least we were up front when it happened. And that's the way this racing is. We'll try to go get ready for Martinsville.
All right, disappointed A.J. Allmendinger. Glad to see you. It's okay, guys.
And we'll finish in the 35th position here this afternoon.
Yeah, he will. So A.J. Allmendinger basically sums it up like everybody else here. Is Chase Elliott, the playoff contender, is the only playoff driver that was involved in that crash. Elliott will be scored dead last in today's race, 40th in the event.
Any of the lead lap cars just entered the pit lane, and we'll tell you how they did here in just a moment when we come back to the Talladega Superspeedway.
So I just switched to Straight Talk Wireless.
Uh-oh, we just ran out of gas.
Great. Gives us time to watch the race.
You know the next town is 50 miles away, right?
Don't worry. I have real unlimited data now.
But how are we going to get out of here?
We got about 200 laps before we need to figure that out.
Get a free 5G phone with select plans and real unlimited data only for a limited time at Straight Talk. Available at your local Walmart and straighttalk.com. Straight Talk is an official partner of NASCAR. Taxes and fees apply. Require single line activation on a qualifying plan for network management practices. Visit straighttalk.com. Copyright 2025 Verizon. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Pit stops continue here at the Talladega Superspeedway under this caution. Trackhouse teammates on the pit lane, including Daniel Suarez, Ross Chastain, and Shane Van Gisbergen, the couple of the only cars to pit here under this second lap of yellow as we go back to the infield and the garage with Brad with Chase Elliott.
Big, tough break for Chase Elliott. We saw a lot of damage to the front of your race car. It looked like there was just really no hope to get it fixed. What happened on the racetrack?
I have no idea. Just, people get turned sideways, try to get slowed up, and ended up in the middle of it. So, unfortunate for sure, but definitely makes things simple, next week.
Is this one of those where you felt the energy coming, getting close to the end of the stage, or did it just jump out of nowhere?
The energy was definitely picking up. Pretty much everything after the cycle, it was getting pretty crazy. So I wasn't, super surprised by it. Maybe should have got out. And just, wasn't going to get any points where I was. We were kind of right on that cusp of if your lane really goes forward, you might, catch the back part of the top 10, but probably not worth the risk, at the end of the day. So everybody was really wild from the get-go. Even when we were saving, they were, jumping at 4 wide and doing things and getting a lot of confidence up. That didn't obviously go very far. So, I hate it. It sucks. I wish, looking back, I could have done something different, but, it is what it is. I can't change it. So we'll go to Martinsville and try to get a win.
All right, there you go. He's going to go to Martinsville, try and grab another grandfather clock.
We'll finish in the 40th spot here this afternoon at Talladega for the sport's most popular driver. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Inspiring story.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway. He will win the Pepsi 400.
I'm just the pilot, man. I just want everybody to be happy. I want to do good, and hopefully all of my dad's fans enjoyed this. This is for all them.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast Junior's Journey. Jeff Gordon, a colorful career, 50 years of MRN, the 1993 season, the road to royalty, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
Field getting the 1-to-go signal, less than a lap away from beginning the second stage of today's Yellawood 500. Later today, we'll select the Xfinity Mobile reliable performance of the race. Xfinity Mobile provides incredible value on the most reliable nationwide 5G network to keep you connected to NASCAR wherever you are. Learn more at xfinity.com/mobile.
Field's just gotten a 1-to-go signal, and they're choosing what lane to restart in. Race leader is Ty Dillon. He'll opt for the inside of the front row. Second place, Chris Buescher will go topside, and they just simply alternate from there on out. No big movers and shakers with the choose. Kyle Busch got a big break with these cautions after a pit road speeding penalty under green flag stops earlier in the race. He's back up to the number 3 spot. Ryan Preece goes fourth. Josh Berry's led some laps today. He is fifth. Chase Briscoe, another driver who had a speeding penalty on pit road, he's back to sixth with Riley Herbst seventh. Cole Custer is eighth. Cody Ware ninth, and Denny Hamlin 10th.
Brad Keselowski will restart in the 11th spot with Daniel Suarez 12th, Ty Gibbs 13th, Ross Chastain 14th, Bubba Wallace in 15th. Then it's Tyler Reddick 16th, Kyle Larson 17th, John Hunter Nemechek 18th, Christopher Bell 19th, and Michael McDowell in 20th.
As we continue the rundown of the field as they're over in turns 3 and 4 coming to the green flag. 21st right now is Austin Hill. Anthony Alfredo is 22nd, Joey Logano 23rd, and Ryan Blaney 24th. Alex Bowman 25th. Carson Hocevar is 26th. Zane Smith is 27th. Todd Gilliland 28th. Shane Van Gisbergen 29th, and William Byron is 30th.
Casey Mears goes 31st, then it's B.J. McLeod in 32nd. Austin Dillon, the last car running in on the lead lap in 33rd. Everybody else out of the event. We've heard from most of them, including Noah Gragson, A.J. Allmendinger, Eric Jones, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Justin Haley, Austin Cindric, and Chase Elliott.
Field comes to the restart zone. Back on the throttle they go as the green flag goes in the air, and we're racing again at Talladega. A couple of orange and black cars at the front of the field. The Chevrolet downstairs is Ty Dillon. The Ford topside is Chris Buescher.
2 by 2 as they make their way through the banking of turns 1 and 2. The third row is dropped back about a couple of car lengths, so it's a 4-man dance at the front of the field as they are side by side for the lead.
Ty Dillon, one of those cars in the front of the pack right now. He is to the inside of the racetrack. Then you've got Chris Buescher, who is the leader. Dillon now starting to get shuffled halfway down the back straightaway. It's Buescher and Kyle Busch, the top two.
Kyle Busch linking up with Chris Buescher to push that Ford to the front of the field. It's Chris Buescher leading the way with Kyle Busch. Josh Berry, and on the first car on the low lane, how about this run for Cole Custer trying to lead the pack through?
Cole Custer coming to life for the first time today. Fourth in line right now. First on the bottom, that's the inside lane. Top 3 using the middle of the racetrack, led by Chris Buescher, Kyle Busch, and Josh Berry. 1, 2, and 3. Then the double wide racing resumes from 4th on back.
From 4th on back, they are 2 by 2 and even a little 3 wide back around the 12th spot. Front of the pack, though, leading the way, Chris Buescher.
Chris Buescher is the race leader. They are starting to form up behind him, though, in his rearview mirror. Buescher right now is the leader. He's got Kyle Busch tucked up behind him. Josh Berry runs third. Ryan Preece and Chase Briscoe, the top 5.
And right behind them, Denny Hamlin, the first to utilize that third high lane right against the safer barrier. He's got company with Brad Keselowski as well as Michael McDowell, but the top 5 now all single file in the middle lane.
And that's exactly where they're going to stay, right through the tri-oval with Kyle Busch pulling the field behind him. I checked that. Busch now second. Looks to the inside as Chris Buescher has the advantage. Kyle Busch is second. Josh Berry a strong third back to turn 1.
Josh Berry's had a strong run this afternoon for the Wood Brothers. Led the race in the early going. Has been in or around the top 10 just about all afternoon. He rides third right now in turn 2.
Right behind Josh Berry, you have the Ryan Preece automobile. Preece has been mixing it up with some of these leaders today as well. And then you have Chase Briscoe, who was towards the back of the pack a little while ago, had that speeding penalty. He's now up into the top 5.
But Tim Catalfamo, that outside lane against the safer barrier, starting to find momentum. At the front of that is Denny Hamlin, who's cracked the top 5 with Brad Keselowski, Michael McDowell, and yesterday's Xfinity Series winner Austin Hill leading that charge.
Austin Hill's had a good day. He's been among the top 10 for much of it in the first 67 laps and is lurking there now. Crossed the line last time by in 12th. As Chris Buescher continues to lead, here comes Josh Berry leading the outside lane back to 1.
Berry takes the Ford to the high line now with drafting help from Denny Hamlin. Berry by a fender. Berry by a door. Josh Berry to the lead off turn number 2.
Josh Berry running right up against the safer barrier in that second lane. The bottom lane still being led by Chris Buescher. It's 2 Ford Mustangs drag racing for the top spot here at Talladega. Berry grabs the lead. Denny Hamlin now races Buescher for second.
Berry's got a full car length lead running that top top lane in turn number 3 and 4. On the bottom, it's still Chris Buescher and Kyle Busch. Now in the middle lane goes Josh Berry, so 2 by 2 they go for the first 3 rows.
Couple of Fords at the front of the field occupying that front row as they continue to mix it up from the lead all the way through the lead draft. All the cars running are in the lead draft with the exception of 2 that are well off the pace further back. The battle is in turn 1.
It continues in turn number 1. Josh Berry has the high side all the way up in the third groove next to the safer barrier. Thinking about a 3-wide move up the middle is Denny Hamlin. Buescher throws the block on him off 2.
Chris Buescher now has moved into the middle lane. That opens up the inside lane now, which is being filled by Kyle Busch. Busch has got Chase Briscoe right behind him. They're 3 wide for the lead.
How quickly things change from 2 wide now to 3 wide. Buescher tries to sneak his Ford up to the top lane. He will, right in front of boss man Brad Keselowski. Leading the inside lane, and new leader again off 4 is going to be Kyle Busch, leading Chase Briscoe.
Kyle Busch brings the field back off of turn 4 and into the tri-oval as the race leader. 2 and 3 wide now behind them. The outside lane with a full head of steam, led by Josh Berry as they go back to 1. He'll get the advantage by a car length on the field.
Back and forth they go. Josh Berry back to the lead, but maybe not for long. Here comes the middle lane. Here comes the bottom lane. They are 3 wide for the lead off turn 2 at Talladega.
3 wide, about 7 rows deep. Again, full throttle racing for the top spot. Josh Berry against the outside wall. Kyle Busch in the middle. And here is Riley Herbst making some noise. He's the leader in the bottom lane to 3.
No riding early in stage number 2. They are 3 wide at the front of the field as Riley Herbst leads that inside lane with Anthony Alfredo and Beer Motorsports making a charge. But it's Kyle Busch in the middle lane and Josh Berry with a surge on the high lane.
Sun is dancing off of the paint schemes in the tri-oval. 3 wide at the front of the field for the first 7 rows. The NASCAR Cup Series and the Daredevils of Speed race that way back to turn number 1.
Riley Herbst hugging the double yellow line at the bottom of the racetrack. Hasn't quite got the speed or the drafting help at the moment. Now he begins to surge back on that low line. Riley Herbst, bottom of the racetrack of the 3 wide. Kyle Busch in the middle. Josh Berry up high.
That's how they run. Still 3 abreast, working their way down the Alabama Gang super stretch. The advantage for the moment goes to Josh Berry. He has got a half a car length out in front. Now here comes Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch strong on the inside will lead the middle lane as now the bottom on the yellow line opens back up for Riley Herbst. 3 by 3 by 3. The first 9 cars as Riley Herbst, Kyle Busch, and Josh Berry battle at the top spot.
18 leaders, 25 lead changes, and we're just 71 laps in here at Talladega, and they are 3 wide at the front. 3 rows deep behind them. Riley Herbst to the inside, trying to take the top spot, but he'll cross the line in 3rd behind Kyle Busch and Josh Berry, who are lined up alongside.
Round and round they go. 3 wide for the lead, inches apart at over 180 miles an hour. This time by it's Riley Herbst by about a foot.
Riley Herbst against the double yellow line. He is the first car on the bottom. Kyle Busch, the first car in the middle. Josh Berry, still the first car against the top side of the racetrack.
190 mile an hour traffic jam into turns 3 and 4, continuing to be 3 abreast through much of the top 15. As again, it's Riley Herbst gets a little squirrely off at turn number 4, but will maintain the low lane with Kyle Busch in the middle and Josh Berry up top.
Nobody gives an inch. Everybody holds their line. If you're stuck in the middle, well, you don't have a choice. You're just going to have to take your medicine at this lap. The flash by start-finish line. 73rd lap of the race goes on the board. Josh Berry up front.
Josh Berry only by about a fender, though, over Kyle Busch in the middle lane. Berry up top next to the safer barrier. Busch smack dab in the middle, and here comes Riley Herbst again on the bottom.
It's been impressive to watch that bottom lane, Dave. There are only 6 cars down there right now. Again, Riley Herbst the first of them, but they are stacking up pretty well against these 2 other lines. Right now, Herbst getting some drafting help from Anthony Alfredo.
Yeah, Fast Pasta showcasing what he can do, trying to surge that bottom lane forward with Riley Herbst. But again, when they get to the corner, it's that middle lane and the top side making a run as Josh Berry and Kyle Busch duke it out for the top 5.
Cody Ware also lined up on the inside lane. 4th car back on the bottom, and out of the top 10 the way they're running because of the 3 wide racing behind Kyle Busch, who assumes the race lead. Here comes Berry to the outside of Briscoe now for 2nd.
Josh Berry just flirting with that safer barrier one more time through turns 1 and 2. He's got a couple of car lengths to make up. For the moment, the middle lane holds sway. That's Kyle Busch for the lead.
Kyle Busch had the opportunity to go up and block Josh Berry, leaving the middle lane and going up to the top. He decided to not do that and instead remain in the middle of the racetrack, being helped in the draft by Chase Briscoe.
Top 4 cars now side by side, not as the Riley Herbst machine unable to get 3 wide back to the front of the field, as Kyle Busch will lead that middle line again with Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin in tow. Kyle Busch all by his lonesome out 4.
He does have the Cheddar Scratch Kitchen Chevrolet at the front of the field. 75 laps go on the board.
Hey, race fans, it's an adrenaline-packed day here at the Yellawood 500. Yellawood brand pressure-treated pine is known by homeowners and trusted by builders because of its high standards, unrivaled protection, and naturally beautiful appearance. Stunning decks and breathtaking outdoor building projects set the stage for lasting memories with family and friends. So, for your own 5-star backyard, start with Yellawood brand products. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Relive the thrills of over 50 years of NASCAR racing with the Motor Racing Network's Classic Race.
36th Annual Southern 500. They come down to the start-finish line. Bill Elliott and David Pearson get down.
We dig into the MRN audio vault for unforgettable races and moments.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500.
Available on MRN.com and podcast platforms.
Alan Kulwicki out of turn number 4, the new Winston Cup champion. He does it across the line.
MRN Classic Races.
We've had 26 official lead changes at the start-finish line so far today, and 18 different drivers have led a lap or more here, led by Josh Berry, who's led 22 circuits today. However, lap 76 that was just completed shows Kyle Busch at the front of the field. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Every hero's story has a humble beginning. Every legend had to earn their stripes. Every superstar had a dream.
It's been a fairy tale season.
Every home track is the start of something special.
That's just good old short track racing.
Oh, a little retaliation.
Holy cow!
Learn more about NASCAR regional tracks near you at NASCAR.com/regional.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway, presented on MRN by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance. Visit Progressive.com.
Back to turn number 2 they go. No change up. Well, a couple of new faces up front. Anthony Alfredo and Riley Herbst this time by go first and second. Inside and out, Chase Briscoe and Kyle Busch next row back. They run third and fourth as they exit turn 2 and hit the back straightaway.
They are still double wide, about 10 rows deep. That bottom lane fell away, and now it's just 2 lanes of traffic being led by Anthony Alfredo and Riley Herbst.
Alfredo spent the last 5 laps being the pusher. Now he's being the pushee as he sails to the lead at Talladega. Now to the top side to block Riley Herbst. Back to the bottom to pick up Chase Briscoe off turn number 4.
Here they come back down to the tri-oval, still wheel to wheel through the entire lead draft. Only 2 cars not in that lead draft. Austin Dillon's got damage to his race car. He's fallen a lap down. Casey Mears, the last car in the lead lap. He is 31st as the lead draft goes back to 1.
And it is Anthony Fast Pasta Alfredo at the front of the pack, but only by about a fender. He's got the high groove and that 2-wide sandwich to the inside, Chase Briscoe.
Chase Briscoe fighting hard to the inside of Anthony Alfredo. Briscoe, when he checks his mirror, looks behind him, giving him some drafting assistance is Denny Hamlin. Behind Denny Hamlin is Michael McDowell.
2 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas, the first 2 rows on the inside, and that'll propel Chase Briscoe back to the lead at Talladega. Denny Hamlin with the shove. That inside lane in strong numbers. Off of corner number 4, it's Briscoe by a car length.
Briscoe to the point by a length with help from Denny Hamlin from behind as the outside lane fades just a bit. Anthony Alfredo, he has drafting help from Riley Herbst as they go back to turn number 1. one, still in double wide formation. It's Briscoe by a nose into the corner.
Chase Briscoe looking for some drafting help from Denny Hamlin to try and push him free and clear into the lead. May get it here at the exit of turn 2.
Chase Briscoe again trying to get up and clear Anthony Alfredo. He just doesn't have the speed right now as Alfredo continues to get drafting assistance from Riley Herbst. Halfway down the back straightaway, they are even, racing for the lead, back to turn 3.
The bright orange Bass Pro Shops Toyota on the bottom, the bright pink and black Dude Wipe Chevrolet to the top of Alfredo. Both of them neck and neck. Now here's a dip to the inside. Michael McDowell trying to make it 3 wide. Make it Michael McDowell now going for the lead to the inside of Briscoe.
And that bottom side lane right up against the double yellow line is percolating here at Talladega. The winner of the pole position yesterday in qualifying back at the front of the field, Michael McDowell, and he has got a trunk full of Joey Logano.
Michael McDowell hung back in 3rd or 4th place, maybe lulled him to sleep a little bit, saw some daylight to the inside, dove low on Chase Briscoe. Now it's McDowell to the lead, but Briscoe's not done yet.
Chase Briscoe trying to fight back in that now middle lane that has formed on the back straightaway. Michael McDowell, though, against the double yellow line at the bottom. He's got 2 Penske Ford Mustangs stacked up behind him. That's Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney.
McDowell on the bottom. Now Briscoe will roll that middle lane. He's trying to pick up Denny Hamlin, but on the bottom it's McDowell with a fellow Ford driver. And Joey Logano, Anthony Alfredo nearly put the late block on McDowell. They gather it back up as they race side by side.
Close moment there off of turn number 4 for Anthony Alfredo, who will continue to battle Michael McDowell for the lead. And here comes that outside lane again, led by Kyle Busch. A full head of steam topside as they go back to turn 1, 3 wide for the top spot.
Rowdy Busch has got the Cheddar Chevrolet wound up tight in that 3 wide line. Hugs the safer barrier, makes the run for the lead. They're 3 deep off turn 2.
Kyle Busch against the fence. Anthony Alfredo in the middle. Michael McDowell, the driver, on the low side. That's how they run, racing for the lead. Here is Kyle Busch being pushed ahead by Josh Berry. Michael McDowell almost gets turned by Joey Logano.
A strong push from Berry sends Kyle Busch full sails to the wind, but here comes that low lane on the yellow line, led by McDowell and Joey Logano, pulling back even with Kyle Busch off the corner.
Another tremendous race here at the Talladega Super Speedway. This field has been mixing it up all afternoon long. Michael McDowell by a nose will lead this lap with Kyle Busch flanked to his outside, much like what we saw back in the month of February in the season opening Daytona 500. We're joined by Daytona International Speedway track president Frank Kelleher. And Frank, we saw this in February, and as a heck, we've been seeing this type of racing crisscrossing the country all summer and into the fall now.
No, you are so spot on. I've been quiet sitting in here with you all because this race has been awesome since the green flag drop. Tip of the hat to Brian Crichton and the whole team getting this property ready. The place looks amazing. The stands are full, and this racing is just a ton of fun.
It really is. Just a tremendous, tremendous event being put on. And, we celebrate the life of the late Grant Lynch, who was the longtime track president and CEO here at this Talladega Super Speedway. Passed away just recently. Had a big celebration of life. And he always said, it's not just a race. This is Talladega, and it's much more than just a race here.
That's right. Grant, he is sorely missed. His family is here today. It was a beautiful tribute a couple nights ago, and he definitely was someone who set the tone in motorsports of how to treat people, how to be a leader, and as well as how to throw one of the biggest parties at one of the best racetracks in the world here at Talladega Superspeedway.
And you continue to follow along in that lead by getting ready to throw another big party. We're, 119 days away from the Great American Race.
Yeah, no doubt. It has been a ton of fun the last few weeks I've been on the road. Our road to Daytona has officially begun as we're 119 days away. We are pacing well to our 11th consecutive sellout, but if anyone listening is interested in coming to seeing the Great American Race, the 68th running, go to DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com. We still do have tickets available, and also be sure to check out the Hard Rock Bet Fan Zone. That is a great addition to your race day experience, and it cannot get here soon enough for me.
No, it just can't. And Speed Weeks themselves, it all kicks off in the month of January with all kinds of things going on that involves motorsports and speed at Daytona.
That's right. We all enjoy our holiday break, and then once that is over, we pretty much open up the gates at Daytona, and they are open January through March. We'll start with the Roar before the Rolex 24, January 15th through the 18th, and then the Rolex 24 is January 24th and 25th. Speed Weeks officially kicks off February 11th with qualifying up through the Daytona 500 on Sunday, February 15th. We get about a week to catch our breath, and then it's all things two wheels, which the Supercross Series will be there February 28th, and then the following Saturday is the Daytona 200. And speaking of two wheels, if anyone is in Volusia County or Daytona Beach today, I know we are wrapping up fall cycle scene right now where the weather has been beautiful and the Speedway has been busy with motorcycles racing and a very packed midway area.
It really is a spectacle at the World Center of Racing at the Daytona International Speedway. How can folks get tickets and come join us here when we get to Daytona next year?
Yeah, come visit us, DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com. We can give you all the details and insights and all the different packages that we have, or if you want to chat with someone, give us a call at 1-800-PIT-SHOP.
It's always a privilege to visit with you on the air and off the air as well, and hang out with you. Let's sit back and enjoy the rest of this one here in Talladega.
That's it. Thanks for making some time for me. Enjoy the race.
Absolutely. Frank Kelleher, president of the Daytona International Speedway.
A race that Cody Ware leads in a three-wide battle up front for the top spot, closing in on the halfway mark here in stage number 2. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. This mid-race update is presented by T-Mobile. T-Mobile, it's better over here. See how at T-Mobile.com/magenta status. As we stay under the green flag, Michael McDowell is the leader as they go back to turn 1. Cody Ware second, Kyle Busch third, Josh Berry, and Cole Custer the top 5.
This spectacular racing, 3 wide, round and round and round. Biggest lead anyone has enjoyed in the last 10 laps has been less than a car length.
It is really tight, and it continues to be 3 wide for the race lead. Michael McDowell in his white Chevy in the middle. Kyle Busch top side. Cody Ware, Cole Custer, and Bubba Wallace, the lone 3 cars on the bottom.
No one giving an inch in the race in turn number 3, although Kyle Busch now will surge ahead by about a half car length on the way up top lane in turn number 4. He's got Michael McDowell to his left elbow, but here comes Cody Ware on the bottom.
99 laps to go in the Yellawood 500 with 33 lead changes at the start-finish line. Currently, Michael McDowell being scored the race leader.
So you're a Toyota Cup driver and you just made it to the playoffs. Now all you have to do is win. Easy. Just turn left, right? That and start strong, take off, reach 200 miles per hour, maintain a good position, no big deal, lap again, time your pit stops, steer clear of accidents, talk to your crew chief like your best friend, and most importantly, turn left. Easy, right? You in? Get up to speed at tgrna.com. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
Do you have an unused car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or RV taking up space? Put it to good use by donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund medical resources for children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. The process is quick and your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9 to donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. Your donation will help our children survive and thrive.
3 wide at the front of the field. It's been that way for the last 20 or so laps. Cody Ware got credit for leading lap number 90 just a half a lap ago. 30 to go here in stage number 2. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
NASCAR history.
What I learned from Ken Squire, Barney Hall, and Ned Jarrett, I could never repay. Ken never told me what to say or what not to say. I learned very quickly that I was never going to be another Ken Squire. I don't think anybody could rise to that level.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcasts. 50 years of MRN. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
Gear up. Visit the NASCAR shop online to find all of your favorite officially licensed NASCAR product. The NASCAR shop is the official store of NASCAR and your destination for all of your favorite hats, t-shirts, die-casts, and more. Whether tailgating, home gating, or anything in between, visit NASCAR.com/shop. for the widest assortment and best selection of NASCAR gear today.
Back here at Talladega Super Speedway as it continues 3 wide at the front of the field. You've got Cody Ware downstairs, Michael McDowell in the middle, and Dave, here comes Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch wound up in that outside lane, snuggled up against the safer barrier, trying to make that 3 wide outside lane work. He's up to second, and he's got ideas about more.
Kyle Busch trying to pull out to the lead. Busch does have Josh Berry behind him, and those 2 cars of Kyle Busch and Josh Berry have been very strong so far this afternoon. As a matter of fact, here is Berry giving Kyle Busch a big shove into turn 3.
And just as he did that in that middle lane, Joey Logano gave Michael McDowell a nice shove to get McDowell back into the second position, but all by himself off of 4. Kyle Busch goes from that high line in turn 3 and 4, now back down to the middle to protect against McDowell.
Right in front of Michael McDowell, who leads that middle lane, or led that middle lane just a couple of moments ago, now is in the second spot in a 3-way race for second. Josh Berry in the outside lane, Cody Ware on the bottom.
Josh Berry just will not quit in that outside line. He's got it wound up tight now, and they're 3 wide for the number 2, 3, and 4 positions, all chasing Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch trying to work all 3 of those lanes behind him and keep them in the rear view mirror. Busch jumps up to the top side of the racetrack, picks up Josh Berry. Berry in lockstep formation, following Busch back to the corner.
Berry gave Busch another shove into turns 3 and 4, and now McDowell will dip back low in that middle lane behind Kyle Busch. They're now 2 by 2 behind Kyle Busch for about 4 rows as Busch back to the top to link up with Josh Berry.
Kyle Busch has been at the front of the field exceptional all day long, whether he's leading laps or pushing other cars. And Dave Moody, typically at Talladega, you have one or the other. You can either be a great lead car or a great pusher. Looks like Kyle Busch can do both.
Yeah, he can. And, he's a veteran. He knows exactly how to do it, where to push, where not to push. We talked about Joey Logano in that regard. Kyle Busch, former series champion, he knows his way around Talladega.
And it's been a long time since Kyle Busch last went to victory lane. He would love to be able to check that box this afternoon. He's got a long way to go, though, but right now his car looks very strong as the leader.
That Cheddar's Chevrolet has been really strong, Tim, at the front of the field. He's been able to make it 3 lanes wide to protect the top spot now for a handful of laps as the field behind him doubles up 2 by 2. Kyle Busch to the bottom to pick up Michael McDowell.
They come off of turn number 4. Kyle Busch out front, and they are still stacked up 2 wide behind them. Michael McDowell to the inside, leading the inside lane in that second spot. Josh Berry to the outside, 2 by 2 through the field.
Kyle Busch on entry into turn 1 slides up into the outside lane to throw a bit of a block on Josh Berry. Now he'll go back down to the middle lane of the racetrack to block that line.
Kyle Busch trying to keep both that 2 lanes behind him. Michael McDowell is the first car in that lane to the inside. Josh Berry the first car to the outside. Both of them still chasing the leader, Kyle Busch.
And Kyle Busch will dip down to that middle lane. Interesting enough that the bottom lane is running that middle groove in between the hash marks. Nobody on the extreme bottom side of the racetrack as Busch will pick up McDowell and now pick up Josh Berry on the top side.
You can call it tame right now through the lead draft, even though they're double wide and inches apart. They're not really pushing and shoving a whole lot. After the big crash earlier at the Care Center with Brad Gilley talking to A.J. Allmendinger, he praised Joey Logano for pushing him in the right places on the track and not in the bad places. Todd Gordon, a moment ago, Dave Moody mentioned pushing the right spots, stay off the bumper on the wrong spots. Where are those particular places here at Talladega?
Well, when the cars are straight and lined up and no lateral load, just going down the short chute from the tri-oval to turn 1, the back stretch, that long push, and off of turn 4 to the tri-oval, those are places that you can push on each other because the cars don't have any lateral load in them. The biggest place you need not to is the transition into the corner or the transition out of the corner because the car hasn't loaded into the banking and squished itself into it. A contact with a car there when it's already kind of unloaded but turning into the corner, that's a very vulnerable place and you can end up wrecking a car.
And that's where we often see trouble, the contact going in or off of the banking here at the Talladega Super Speedway that leads to multi-car incidents. We've already had one here this afternoon under the green flag now. 22 laps to go here in stage number 2, and it's Kyle Busch out front.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults age 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco.
Hey, it's Ryan Blaney, 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion. If you know me, I did Black Buffalo Long Cut. Black Buffalo is America's only credible smokeless tobacco alternative. Black Buffalo was established in America in 2015, and it dips just like the real thing, without the tobacco leaf or stem. You can find Black Buffalo at thousands of retailers across the USA near you. Black Buffalo Tobacco Alternative. If it's everything you love about dip, nothing you don't.
From legendary races to heart-pounding finishes, NASCAR Channel is your 24/7 pit stop for all things NASCAR. Streaming classic moments, iconic rivalries, and behind-the-scenes stories from the world's greatest drivers. Dive into the NASCAR culture with shows about the cars, the teams, and the personalities that make it America's most exciting motorsport. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Start streaming now on Tubi.
An aggressive move by Josh Berry a half a lap ago, going from the outside lane to the bottom, was able to lead the latest lap number 98 here at Talladega, over Kyle Busch, Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, and Joey Logano. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
One last exhale. Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day one. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
The thrills of NASCAR racing from over 55 years of Motor Racing Network broadcasts.
Bobby Allison brings the race car right down in the middle of the track, crosses the start-finish line, and he will win the 24th annual Daytona 500.
Bill Elliott wins the Hooters 500. Alan Kulwicki, 1992 champion.
MRN Classic Races.
And in the whole pack, steaming for the finish line, Dale Earnhardt wins a Winston 500.
Find all the classic moments on MRN Classic Races on any podcast platform.
Back at the Talladega Superspeedway, continuing under the green flag as the race leaders exit turn 2 and race up the backstretch. It is Josh Berry at the point. Joey Logano now up to the second spot. Kyle Busch is third. Michael McDowell was among the top 5 a half a lap ago. He has since been shuffled out of that inside draft into the tail end of the top 20 as they come back off of turn number 4. 100 laps in, 88 laps to go here at Talladega.
Field works their way into the tri-oval, looking down upon on the pit lane. Some teams are beginning to put the helmets on, which means they may be preparing for green flag stops. Should we stay under the green flag, Todd? Do you anticipate that happening here in the next handful of laps?
Yes, I do. We're now at lap 100, actually 101, 19 to go. I would think within the next 7-8 laps, we're going to see most everybody get to pit road.
As the field works their way onto the Alabama Gang super stretch in front of Tim Catalfamo.
They are mixing it up at the front of the pack right now. Drivers trying to find their dancing partner and get in line. Josh Berry and Joey Logano, the top 2.
And Logano will follow Josh Berry to the bottom side of the racetrack right on that yellow line. Kyle Busch, who has led so many laps today, leading the outside lane off of turn 4. They go side by side, 2 by 2 off of 4.
Kyle Busch has led 22 laps here this afternoon already. Will he lead lap 23 here? He leads the outside lane with Josh Berry to his inside. Berry has led the most laps today at 27. Side by side through the field with 18 to go in the second stage.
And a lot of maneuvering being done right now, I think, in anticipation of pit stops. We talked about Michael McDowell getting shuffled out of the pack. I think a lot of that was self-inflicted. He bailed out and then pulled back in to get to the bottom of the racetrack.
Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, it is Josh Berry, who has now moved down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's got Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney behind him to 3.
That's 3 Fords leading that inside lane with the Chevrolet of Kyle Busch pulling in Chris Buescher around the outside of the racetrack. Chase Briscoe trying to open up that third lane, about the 10th spot on that.
Making their way back past the entrance to pit road, everybody keeps it hammered down as they make their way into the tri-oval. Ford pokes the nose out front again, and it's Josh Berry once more by a bumper, leads lap number 104 headed to turn 1.
Josh Berry has been a constant threat at the front of the pack this afternoon for Wood Brothers Racing. He runs in that middle lane, 3 wide action back around 15 plates, led by Chase Briscoe.
Chase Briscoe up there against the outside wall with a couple of other cars that are trying to get that third or outside lane established. Kyle Busch in the middle of the racetrack challenging Josh Berry for the lead.
Yeah, he is, and he got a big push from Chris Buescher there on the entrance to corner number 3 as they're neck and neck for the top spot with Josh Berry on the low line and Kyle Busch running that middle groove. But again, Chase Briscoe and that third lane starting to surge.
A couple of Toyotas lead that third line. Chase Briscoe in the outside along with Christopher Bell lined up behind him. Then you have Daniel Suarez and Shane Van Gisbergen topside. But at the point and on the bottom, it is Josh Berry back into the corner.
Josh Berry shows the way. Kyle Busch right alongside him in that second groove, if you will. Back around the 8th spot, Chase Briscoe continues to surge.
That outside lane continues to move forward. Chase Briscoe at the helm right now, trying to move it alongside of the Kyle Busch Chevrolet. They are moving their way 3 wide now for third and 3.
Full head of steam, and Chase Briscoe is not done yet. He pulls to the right bumper, right quarter panel, that is, of Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch up the racetrack will pick up Briscoe in that third outside lane, leaving Chris Buescher caught in the middle.
Running all the way at the double yellow line to driver's left. We'll call that lane number 1 and then go up to lane number 2. That's the middle of the track. Then lane 3 is a lane led by Kyle Busch, Chase Briscoe, and others. 3 wide for the top spot again.
Kyle Busch now back into that second lane, the middle lane, if you will. Leaves Chase Briscoe free passage around the outside, but he hasn't got the drafting help right now. Here comes Christopher Bell to give some.
Christopher Bell trying to push Chase Briscoe forward. Now here comes Kyle Busch jumping from the middle and going back up to the top to block Chase Briscoe. It's Busch the leader, Briscoe second. Here's Berry and Logano going for the lead.
Yeah, Josh Berry getting a full surge on the inside lane. That lane number 1 on the yellow line from Joey Logano. Kyle Busch having to back up just a little bit to Chris Buescher to get some drafting help as Chase Briscoe continues to lead the third lane.
It'll be 14 laps to go in stage number 2, and a couple of cars peel off at the tail end of the field and begin to make their way toward the pit lane as the 3 wide racing continues up front between Kyle Busch, Josh Berry, and Chase Briscoe as they go back to the corner.
The Joe Gibbs Racing teammates Briscoe and Bell leading the charge in that third lane. Briscoe up into a 3 wide battle for position number 2.
Kyle Busch, though, is the leader. He is at the bottom of the racetrack right now. Busch holding steady against the double yellow line. Now here comes Chris Buescher in the middle. Chase Briscoe up top. They race their way back to 3.
Kyle Busch leading a train of Ford Mustangs on the inside, although that inside lane starting to break up just a little bit as Chris Buescher now in the middle groove will go wheel to wheel with Chase Briscoe for the top spot. New driver on the bottom, it's Austin Hill, and now the Chevrolets with Josh Berry hit pit road.
As 2 Chevrolets and Anthony Alfredo and Ty Dillon go back up to speed after making pit stops, here's Kyle Busch bringing his Cheddar's Chevrolet in. Let's cover the Kyle Busch stop.
Kyle Busch happy to be out front controlling this field. It's going to be a fuel-only stop. Justin White has the can plugged in. 4 seconds of fuel, all they needed. Jason Toy.
Where is it? He's taking Sunoco fuel only. Just in front of him, it is Austin Hill. Doug Warwick getting the fuel in there for him with 3 seconds of it. Steve Post.
3 seconds of fuel for Josh Berry down and away. Michael McDowell also pitting the first pit box. He needed about 3.5 seconds of fuel from McDowell. He's down and away.
Cody Ware also making a stop. 5 cars on pit road here at lap 107. Let's see the next group. If they dive out of line this time off of turn number 4, they do not, as the lead draft continues to stay intact among 25 or so cars. Double wide formation. Toyota in the outside lane showing the way, led by Chase Briscoe, and it's the Ford on the bottom. Chris Buescher towing the way back to 1.
Yeah, Buscher's got a good run going in that low line. He'll pull up even now with Buescher in the side-by-side battle, I should say, for the lead.
2 wide all the way through the pack right now as the leaders head up the Alabama Gang super stretch. Chase Briscoe in a Toyota, a half a car length out in front. Now here comes Chris Buescher back on the low lane being helped by Brad Keselowski.
Here comes Briscoe on the top side. got a huge shove from that DeWalt Camry from Joe Gibbs Racing and Christopher Bell, but it's Buescher again by a nose with a Ford Mustang leading out front. Brad Keselowski's behind, and so is Ryan Preece.
And that lead draft will thunder past the entrance to pit road one more time. 11 laps to go in stage number 2. Still a fight at the front of the field of the Ford of Chris Buescher. On the bottom of the track, the Toyota Chase Briscoe topside.
Into turn number 1, inches apart, low line and middle line respectively for those two racers. Buescher trying to dig down low. Briscoe has the lead by a bumper.
Been watching Brad Keselowski the last couple of laps. He has been committed to helping his teammate Chris Buescher on the bottom side of the racetrack. Behind Brad Keselowski, the fellow other RFK racing car, that's Ryan Preece.
Yeah, 3 RFK Racing Fords, 1, 2, 3 on that bottom lane. Chase Briscoe still leading the outside with Christopher Bell and Daniel Suarez on the outside lane. Off of Ford, here comes the RFK Ford Mustangs to pit road.
There they come, diving out of the draft and onto the apron, slowing the pit road speed, and led by Brad Keselowski. Ryan Preece also there, along with Chris Buescher. Let's begin our pit coverage with Brad Gilley.
Ryan Preece will be the first one in. 3 seconds of fuel from Mueller. Justin Edgell, he is already out of his pit box. Jason Toy.
3 seconds of fuel, same thing for the boss man. Brad Keselowski hits the American flag sign, gets it perfect. He's down and away. Steve Post.
Chris Buescher got his 3 seconds of fuel. Buescher is down and away, and more crew members up on pit wall.
Those 3 RFK Fords now get past the speed limit line. They're able to accelerate again on the apron of the racetrack. That lead pack is working their way off of turn number 4. Speeding penalty for Chris Buescher. Buescher gets caught for speeding. He'll have to do a pass-through penalty. Oh, trouble as the cars now begin to slide. Coming to pit road, Shane Van Gisbergen gets sideways. He does a horizontal slide out to the grass. Everybody else makes their stop, and we've got more mess in front of Brad Gilley.
Ryan Blaney already in for his fuel only. He's down and away. Also, William Byron down and away. Bubba Wallace actually missed his pit stall. He had to back up. Shane Van Gisbergen's car stranded in the grass right at the entrance of pit road. Ross Chastain getting fresh Goodyear tires as well. Jason Toy.
3 seconds of fuel was the name of the game. Denny Hamlin also making a stop. Ty Gibbs, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell. Ball picking up Sunoco fuel only. Steve Post.
Chase Briscoe was in Sunoco fuel only. Zane Smith was in. Cole Custer as well, getting pit service.
And with that, the caution flag comes out for a car stranded. That is Shane Van Gisbergen that got sideways coming to the pit lane, slid a long way sideways in the face of a lot of drivers that were also trying to get to pit road. That car has come to a stop now in the tri-oval grass to put us under the caution flag for the 3rd time with 9 laps to go in stage 2.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a 3rd-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Safety team attending the Shane Van Gisbergen down in the infield tri-oval. They've been able to push him away as he'll get to his pit stall. The rest of the field being captured by the safety car here as we are under caution for the 3rd time today, getting to the final few laps of stage 2 from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Don't miss a moment of the NASCAR season.
Chastain drove it and never lifted. Put it against the safer barrier and all the way around the turn, passes Denny Hamlin.
Check out the Motor Racing Network's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and the NASCAR Cup Series on hundreds of local radio stations around the country. Find your local station by going to MRN.com to catch the excitement of NASCAR on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Get ready to rev your engines, NASCAR fans. The thrill, the speed, the action. You can now experience it all for free on the NASCAR channel on Tubi. Feel the adrenaline with a library of unforgettable races from Daytona to Talladega. It's a front row seat to NASCAR history. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere on your favorite fast platform. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Find the NASCAR channel on your streaming device and start watching today.
Back at Talladega Superspeedway, had a round of green flag pit stops for most of the leaders prior to this caution flag and a couple of penalties along the way. Daniel Suarez too fast on the pit lane, and a penalty for Bubba Wallace, a safety violation during his pit stop. Will force those two cars to the back of the field.
7 laps to go here in stage number 2. This is shaping up similar towards the end of stage number 1, where we had a late caution and a 2-lap run to the green and white checkered flag. We'll wait and see just how many green flag laps we're going to be able to run here in the conclusion of stage number 2, as they are yet to open up pit lane for those who have not already made a pit stop, or for anybody who wants to come in for that matter. 2 drivers have not pitted on this green flag cycle. They are first and second right now, and that's Tyler Reddick and Joey Logano. Then third place is Kyle Larson. Fourth is Chase Briscoe. Christopher Bell rounds out the top 5.
So, Todd, I guess the question to you is, how does the strategy change for Tyler Reddick and Joey Logano that were unable to get to the pit lane prior to the caution coming out in the middle of the round of green flag pit stops?
My anticipation is they would need to come to pit road and get fuel to run the rest of this stage. To see where that goes with pit road open now, I wouldn't think that they could have saved enough fuel to stretch this out even with a caution lap. So I would expect them to come to pit road and end up burying themselves pretty deep in the field.
We were able to watch an up-close shot on the NASCAR TV screens of the spin by Shane Van Gisbergen coming to pit road, which effectively put us under this caution flag after the car got stuck in the muddy grass here on the front side. He hit the weeper, what we call a weeper, a little small wet patch from all the heavy rains earlier this morning, and the car broke loose on him under braking, and that's what caused the spin there. Joey Logano is on pit road in front of Brad Gilley.
He missed that last cycle by staying out when the wreck was happening. Logano this time gets 4 tires. They hold him to pack it tight with Sunoco fuel. Coming back in, this time for 4 tires with Sunoco fuel. We see Brian Priest, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch also back in, Jason Toy.
A couple of drivers having good runs today. That is Cody Ware, 4 tires Sunoco fuel for the Arby's Ford. Right behind him, also Anthony Alfredo topping off the fuel tank there. Austin Hill picking up 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles and some fresh Sunoco fuel. Steve Post.
Tyler Reddick is in, getting the attention of his crew. Chris Buescher is in. A problem on the Wood Brothers car. They're working on the right rear of it, and I think some harnesses or something are loose on there. I haven't had a chance to confirm it with the team. One crew member up into the right rear of the Wood Brothers car now back out, and they're going to put the right rear tire back on. So Miles Stanley, the crew chief, said, take your time. We've got nothing to lose here. We're going to be last no matter what we do. Take your time. Make sure we fix the problem. And they're taking a look now inside of the car. So not sure exactly what it is, whether it's a harness inside the car or multiple problems on the Wood Brothers car, but they're working on that automobile as well. Michael McDowell was in, Ty Dillon also in on this pit sequence.
Mentioned the Josh Berry car down on the pit lane. There was a tire on the ground as they worked under the right rear, and Ty Dillon actually hit it, and it struck one of the crew members. Never fell, but it was a close moment there on the pit lane for that crew member on the right side of the car. As work buttons up on the Josh Berry car, he'll head back out onto the racetrack for the Wood Brothers Ford as the rest of the field is over in turn number 4, getting set for the restart in a couple of laps from now to settle stage 2.
Yeah, it was a close call down there in the pit area, but it shows these athletes, they're tough guys down there to have a wheel get hit and bounce off of it. The jackman for Josh Berry's team put the car in the air, and he basically served as a safety guide for the 2 crew members who were working inside the right rear wheel well that Steve Post was talking about when Ty Dillon pulled out of his pit box, clipped that Goodyear Eagle tire that was laying to the side of him in the box, and it ricocheted off of the crew member that was down up underneath the wheel well, and the jackman who was playing safety guard there gave a good punch and a pretty good swipe to the left side of the Ty Dillon car as it was driving by.
I wasn't overly happy with how Ty Dillon exited his pit stall, which is just behind Josh Berry's stall, and Ty Dillon coming back onto the pit lane now as we continue under the caution. Field beginning to double up into their rows at 2, selecting the inside or outside lanes. Chase Briscoe over Carson Hocevar, then it's Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, Ty Gibbs, Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin, and Todd Gilliland, the top 10.
So as they choose what lane to restart in, that means we're going to have a 4-lap dash to the end of stage number 2. Chase Briscoe at the front of the field. As you look at it right now, Todd, 5 of the first 6 positions at this point in the race are all playoff drivers.
Yeah, looking to score their stage points, and those that got through their cycle there. Fortunately for Tyler Reddick and Joey Logano, there were 11 cars that came to pit road trying to kind of flip the stage here, putting 4 tires on, filling up with fuel, and that got them forward. I think Joey Logano crossed the line 15th, Tyler Reddick 16th, so they've got an opportunity to fight their way forward for some stage points.
This is the penultimate race of the season for at least this round of the playoffs here in the round of 8 for the NASCAR Cup Series. Of course, we go to the Martinsville Speedway next Sunday to determine the championship 4 and the championship race in 2 weeks' time at the Phoenix Raceway in Arizona. As the field is lined up and ready to go in front of you, Chris Wilder over in turn number 4.
A very gusty turns 3 and 4. Those wind gusts that we talked about at the top of the broadcast have certainly picked up. The big flags that line turn 3 and 4 at full mast, wondering what kind of crosswind does to the handling of these race cars, as Carson Hocevar will take his place to the inside lane of the front row. Chase Briscoe to the outside in his Toyota as the pace car gets set to duck on off to pit road.
Yeah, Chris mentioned the giant flags here. They are big, and that's one thing the late Grant Lynch always talked about. Bigger is better here at Talladega. Same with all the racing flags that are gigantic that line Interstate 20 right outside of turns 3 and 4, and we salute everyone who's trucking up and down the highways, keeping America moving.
4 laps to go here in stage number 2. Green flag is up, and Chase Briscoe leads the outside lane. It is Carson Hocevar on the bottom, a little disorganized outside of the top 10 as that 2-wide racing goes to turn 1.
Making their way at the bottom of the racetrack. Here they go. It's Chase Briscoe at the front. He'll go from the second lane, make the left-hand turn down to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll hang on to the top spot as they head for the back straightaway.
Here comes the field up the Alabama Gang super stretch. Chase Briscoe is the leader. He's trying to keep Kyle Larson at bay behind him. Larson took a peek to the outside for a moment, but now he follows Briscoe back to 3.
Back up to full song in the north end of Talladega Super Speedway. Chase Briscoe leading the way in the middle lane. Kyle Larson directly behind. He's got his Hendrick teammate in William Byron in that third position in the inside lane, but Carson Hocevar gets a shove from Christopher Bell.
Back down to the tri-oval they come again. Chase Briscoe changes lanes, goes from the top to the bottom. Carson Hocevar shoving for all he's worth. Hocevar right up underneath the rear spoiler of the race leader.
Carson Hocevar wants a piece of the action, but for the moment it will continue to be Chase Briscoe through turns 1 and 2. He and Hocevar, and now Christopher Bell, the top 3.
That's the top 3 on the bottom side of the racetrack. In that second lane in the middle, that's where Kyle Larson runs. Larson trying to get a fender alongside Briscoe. Briscoe moves up, throws the block, goes back down to the bottom, and leaves the pack off the end of the backstretch.
And that leaves Larson, the first car, to the outside, running that second lane in the middle. He's got his teammate in William Byron there in tow, but the organization on the bottom here off 4 as Briscoe continues to lead Hocevar and Christopher Bell.
Tightly bunched on the inside of the racetrack as they make their way into the tri-oval, led by Chase Briscoe. Outside lane with the momentum and a lot of it. Kyle Larson goes to the point with a shove from William Byron.
We have barely mentioned Kyle Larson so far this afternoon, but as we get on toward the tail end of stage number 2, he is in the hunt for the green and white checkered flag. Side by side for second, he's got the high line on Hocevar.
Chase Briscoe goes up and now blocks Kyle Larson again, coming off of turn number 2. Larson will follow him up the back straightaway. Carson Hocevar, meanwhile, on the bottom lane, getting a shove from Christopher Bell.
Top 5 littered with playoff drivers eager for stage points as Kyle Larson continues to lead that outside lane in the middle groove, with Chase Briscoe now going to move up to take that position away. Carson Hocevar still fighting strong on the bottom.
Briscoe does play a nice job of defense there, going from the bottom to the top. Put the block on to try to stall out that advance. Can't do it this time by. Kyle Larson's got a full head of steam, and he's got a Hendrick Motorsports friendly on the back bumper.
To the outside lane goes Kyle Larson, drafting help from William Byron. Downstairs, it's Chase Briscoe, drafting help from Carson Hocevar. Briscoe with the advantage.
William Byron, second in line in the middle right now, wants to go. He is shoving Kyle Larson up the Alabama Gang super stretch. Larson is even with Chase Briscoe, racing for the top spot.
Racing to the green and white checkered flag. Larson getting help from his teammate on the outside lane of William Byron, but down low it's Chase Briscoe. He has Carson Hocevar and Christopher Bell. Final time off of corner number 4 in stage 2. Larson and Briscoe side by side.
Side by side for the stage win. Here they come into the tri-oval. Larson topside, Briscoe to the bottom. Briscoe with a shove out front to the start-finish line, and for the 6th time this season, Chase Briscoe gets the green and white checkered flag and a stage win. Kyle Larson will cross the line in 2nd, Carson Hocevar 3rd, William Byron 4th, and Christopher Bell 5th. Then it was Ty Gibbs, Ryan Blaney, Todd Gilliland, John Hunter Nemechek, and Alex Bowman, the top 10 as we go under caution for the 4th time to end stage 2 here this afternoon in Talladega.
So I just switched to Straight Talk Wireless.
Uh-oh, we just ran out of gas.
Great, gives us time to watch the race.
You know the next town is 50 miles away, right?
Don't worry, I have real unlimited data now.
But how are we going to get out of here?
We got about 200 laps before we need to figure that out.
Get a free 5G phone with select plans and real unlimited data only for a limited time at Straight Talk. Available at your local Walmart and straighttalk.com. Straight Talk is an official partner of NASCAR. Taxes and fees apply. Require single line activation on a qualifying plan for network management practices. Visit straighttalk.com. Copyright 2025 Verizon. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
Drivers, start your engines!
Your home for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Green flag goes in the air and we are underway.
On the NASCAR Racing Network.
2 by 2 by 2. They're about 10 rows deep of double wide racing. Taylor Gray to the bottom. Nick Sanchez outside, and they're crashing mid-pack.
It's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on the NASCAR Racing Network.
Pace car picking up the field here at Talladega Superspeedway. Pit lane will be open shortly as we are within the final stage now, the final 67 laps of the Yellawood 500. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
We're at the start-finish line.
William Byron on pole position. Green flag is out and we're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin bump.
We're on pit road.
4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel. The race off from pit road is Denny Hamlin. Eric Jones goes off second.
We are live from the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com.
We welcome you back to Talladega Superspeedway. Pit road remains closed for the moment. Let's let you know where the Xfinity fastest lap of the race so far belongs to. It belongs to Michael McDowell. He turned a lap of 196.616 miles per hour. If it stands, they'll claim the Xfinity fastest lap award and earn 1 championship point. Sign up today for a super fast connection to NASCAR and never miss a second of the action. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Looks like NASCAR has gone out to where that small weeper is. It's a very slight moisture area where Shane Van Gisbergen hit coming off of turn 4, under braking to come to pit road to put us under a caution a moment ago back on lap 111. That's the reason pit road is closed, Todd. Looks like they got a jet dryer out there just trying to dry that up.
Yeah, probably not the piece that's going to impact the caution flag stops that we have here, but in the green flag cycle, as you fan out, you can get yourself in a position. Christopher Bell talked about this on our truck series of broadcast on Friday night. That's one place that, especially when we have rain, you can have weepers that kind of throw you for a little bit of a loop.
We've wrapped up the stage racing portion of today's Yellawood 500, Dave Moody, and this one has not disappointed.
Well, it has been vintage Talladega this afternoon so far, Alex. 3 wide, 4 wide at times, probably 3 to 4 times as many unofficial lead changes as official, and we've had plenty of the latter as well. And with that said, you get the feeling that the intensity level has not yet even begun to peak as we get on toward the end of this race.
And Tim Catalfamo over on the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. Do you get that same kind of feeling as we get toward the end of this event? All right, back to Tim in just a moment as the field works by him on the back straightaway into turn number 3. We're waiting for pit road to be open, and it looks like it might be this time by. Briscoe, Larson, Hocevar, Byron, and Bell singled out over on the backstretch, and we'll look for this round of pit stops to begin here shortly. 66 laps to go here in this event this afternoon, and points earned today. Ty Gibbs has earned quite a bit in the first couple of stages at 15, along with John Hunter Nemechek picking up 10. So a lot of drivers, like always here at Talladega and at Daytona, a lot of drivers that we don't necessarily see at the front of the field. A lot getting some points here this afternoon.
You're right about that, as pit road being open, and here comes the majority of the field. We're going to start with Steve Post. And, Steve, let's start with the current race leader, Chase Briscoe. Extended caution here before they opened pit road did not help this team, did it?
No, it did not, Alex. They did not get as much fuel in the car as they wanted to get in the car, and they were very worried. They had Chase keeping an eye on the windshield and one eye on the gauges. The good news is, here they are. That car has made it into the pit box. Going to be 4 tires. They've told Chase to wait until the fuel is done. Right side work is being done. Here's Michael McDowell into his pit box. Cole Custer is in getting pit service. Ty Dillon is in. Tyler Reddick is already down and away. Back to Briscoe. Waiting on fuel. And now Chase Briscoe's down and away, Jason Toy.
Saw Kyle Larson make a pit stop here, 4-tire Sunoco fuel. Same thing for Christopher Bell. All the drivers in the middle section, just like they were on the front side, told to go when the jack drops. That means they've got the fuel full in there. Don't be surprised if we don't see a few of them come back down the middle section before we go back green. How about in front of you, Brad?
Same thing on my end with wholesale changes for everyone. As far as the top runners, Ryan Blaney came in. We also saw William Byron in 4-tire Sunoco fuel. Joey Logano came back in. Kyle Busch came back in. They all packed it tight with Sunoco.
Here's the top 5 off of pit road, presented by National Debt Relief. Struggling with credit card debt? National Debt Relief can help you get back on track. They negotiate your creditors to reduce the amount you owe. Ready to take your life back? Visit nationaldebtrelief.com to get started.
Top 5 off of pit road were John Hunter Nemechek, Tyler Reddick, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, and Anthony Alfredo.
That's the
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport, because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Hi, I'm Kyle Petty, and I want to tell you about a place that's near and dear to my heart. Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by getting involved today. Whether you know a child who could benefit, want to volunteer, or join our team, you can be a part of something truly special. Learn more by visiting victoryjunction.org.
We're down to just 64 laps remaining in the Yellawood 500s, who work the caution flag here for the 4th time in the race. This one for the end of stage number 2, which was won by Chase Briscoe. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Welcome to more.
Green flag is in the air.
More action.
Photo finish.
More awesome. More smoke. More sizzle. More soar. More roar. More friends. More family. Welcome to the one place where no matter who you are, you'll leave with something you'll never forget. Welcome to NASCAR.
Looking for motorsports coverage you can't find anywhere else? Look no further than the Motor Racing Network's lineup of weekly podcasts. NASCAR news and interviews on NASCAR Live and NASCAR Live Wide Open. NASCAR Cup Series Insight on Crew Call. NASCAR Grassroots Racing News and Talk on NASCAR Coast to Coast. And Sprint Car Talk on Wing Nation. All these and more available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
We welcome you back to Talladega Super Speedways. We have a bit of an extended caution flag here as the jet dryers back out there at the apron of the short straightaway, we'll call it, between turn 4 and the entrance to pit road. Just trying to get a little moisture taken care of there. Same here on the exit of the pit lane. There's a couple of small weepers there. That is something that happens when it rains significantly here at Talladega. And boy, we had a lot of rain here at Talladega earlier this morning.
It rained, and it rained hard overnight, about 2, 3, 4 a.m. Cleared out for a little bit, and it looked like they about had the track dry when we got here to the racetrack this morning. Then it rained again, about 9:30 here local time. The sun came out at 11 o'clock. The track quickly dried, but like you mentioned, a couple of weepers at the bottom of the racetrack off of turn number 4 that the crew is continuing to work on. Although they haven't played a factor here this afternoon, we want to make sure they are tightened up and dried up for the final stage of this race.
Nobody really wants a lot of rain, but I would imagine there was more than one person down in the Talladega infield that had some of those raindrops hit them in the face this morning and awakened them, maybe not where they thought they went to bed. That's just part of the party here at Talladega Super Speedway. It's been a heck of a party from what we understand all weekend long.
The Boulevard, the rodeo, what else is going on?
I think there was a concert last night.
Concert.
Whiskey Myers played last night.
Saw drivers walking around in Halloween costumes, so it was a very busy and animated infield as there's an issue for Denny Hamlin on the pit lane.
No clutch for Denny Hamlin. They had to push him off there very slow for him to get rolling. He was the last one to come in and take on 4 tires in Sunoco fuel, but they had to push him out of the pit box to get him rolling.
Yeah, that's something to have to keep a close eye on throughout the running of this race, Todd.
So I'm wondering, as he says no clutch, like no disengagement must be because it can power itself as it gets going. Riley Herbst, another Toyota, had to change a clutch after qualifying, and that's what sent him to the back this morning. Interesting to see that. Don't really normally see those issues.
So Denny Hamlin will restart from the tail end of the field when we go back under the green flag, which is coming shortly. The field beginning to assemble in their rows of 2 up in turn number 4, set for the final stage of this one. Had 4 cautions for 18, about to be 19 laps so far this afternoon. 49 lead changes among 23 different drivers. More than half the field have taken their time at the front and led laps here today. And still a long way to go in the Yellawood 500 as we're set for the restart.
Yeah, we are. We'll bring the field down to the start-finish line. They got to get to the restart zone before they can jump on the throttle. John Hunter Nemechek is the control car. He can be the first one to get on the loud pedal. He's on the outside lane, and he does so right in the middle of the zone. Green flag goes back in the air. Nemechek topside. You got Kyle Busch on the bottom of the racetrack. Row 2 inside is Anthony Alfredo. Topside in row number 2 is Tyler Reddick.
Outside line gets the advantage by about a car length going into turns 1 and 2 as the field now just begins to come up to speed. Out of turn 2, John Hunter Nemechek, the leader.
John Hunter Nemechek is the top car, working its way down the back straightaway. He has got a couple of cars lined up right behind him, giving him some drafting assistance. That's Tyler Reddick and Joey Logano. Nemechek leads to 3.
On the bottom side, it is Kyle Busch, who continues to be the leader of that group on the yellow line. He's got Anthony Alfredo and Michael McDowell directly behind, but more numbers in that middle lane as John Hunter leads off 4 with Tyler Reddick.
Drafting in numbers, and there's not a whole lot of them on the inside lane, led by Kyle Busch, unless the middle line, of course, crosses over, led by John Hunter Nemechek. He has Help from Reddick and Joey Logano as the inside lane continues to dig, led by Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch shows the way in that number 2 position, side by side in the battle for second. John Hunter Nemechek happily out front with the lead, but here comes Busch back at him on the inside.
Kyle Busch has been strong all afternoon long, and he pulls a fender alongside of the John Hunter Nemechek Toyota. Now Nemechek gets a bump from Tyler Reddick, goes out to the lead. Reddick side by side with Joey Logano for second place.
Yeah, Logano now is going to have to find a Ford Mustang behind him and Ryan Preece to get him back toward the top spot as John Nemechek leads that second lane, the middle groove off turn number 4 with Tyler Reddick and Kyle Busch in tow.
Here they come back to the Tri-Oval. Unscheduled stop again for Josh Berry. He pulls away from his box. He'll be all by himself as the lead draft flashes by the start-finish line. A couple of Toyota Camry XSEs at the front of the field. It's John Hunter Nemechek and Tyler Reddick.
Reddick right there in that number 2 position, followed by Kyle Busch. They'll make their way through turns 1 and 2, chasing John Hunter Nemechek.
That's the top 3, again, of Nemechek, Reddick, and Kyle Busch. Everyone now starting to jump up to the outside lane as both the middle and the bottom lane start to fall apart. John Hunter Nemechek, Tyler Reddick, Kyle Busch, Anthony Alfredo, and Joey Logano, the top 5.
Single file they go in the north end of Talladega Super Speedway, now to that outside lane way up by the safer barrier. First car to run the middle lane down on the lower side is going to be the Riley Herbst machine as he tries to get some drafting help, and it's to no avail.
Herbst in about the 8th position as he comes off of turn number 4, although first on the bottom. The front 7 in front of him are single file in lane number 2 or in the outside, led by John Hunter Nemechek, Tyler Reddick, Kyle Busch, Anthony Alfredo, and Joey Logano.
Quite a run for Anthony Alfredo at Beard Motorsports. They only run 5 or 6 times a year on the biggest tracks. They have exactly 1 full-time employee, and they are solidly in the top 5.
We're talking about Anthony Alfredo. He is the car 4th in line on the super stretch as they work their way to turn number 3. Alfredo has got Joey Logano behind him. Behind Logano is Chris Buescher.
And Buescher has his teammate in Ryan Preece behind him as well. Ty Gibbs to the inside of Preece. First car on the bottom of the racetrack in that Monster Energy Toyota. Trying to find a hole to the outside. He can't get it done behind Joey Logano.
Oh, they are going to slam the door shut in that outside lane and force him to just ride right there to driver's left. Here they come down to the line one more time. Anthony Alfredo took a peek to the inside of Kyle Busch, just simply getting some air to the radiator as they go back to 1.
And they all run single file for the moment back through the top 5. John Hunter Nemechek continues to show the way. One slower car down on the bottom. That's the Josh Berry machine. He'll give way to the lead pack.
Josh Berry will let all these faster cars go by him to the right. In the second groove in the middle, that's where you have a couple of cars that are trying to establish a line. Ty Gibbs is there. Bubba Wallace, Riley Herbst.
Yeah, Ty Gibbs has been committed to that middle groove. First car on that bottom lane as they try to negotiate around Josh Berry, who again now will give up that top lane to the race leaders as off of corner number 4. It's John Hunter Nemechek and Tyler Reddick, but Ty Gibbs still strong on the bottom.
Tied right now or side by side with position number 4 as they move around the lapped car of Josh Berry. Berry will go to the extreme bottom. All the leaders at speed go to the outside lane, and they're all still chasing John Hunter Nemechek.
Nemechek by about a car length now over Tyler Reddick. The low line continuing to dig. Here they come. Searching forward and into a battle for the lead. Ty Gibbs to the inside.
Ty Gibbs able to pull alongside of John Hunter Nemechek for a moment coming out of turn number 2. Now Gibbs is side drafting Nemechek going down the super stretch. Ty Gibbs and John Hunter Nemechek neck and neck for the lead.
Stage 1 winner Ty Gibbs looking strong here in stage number 3. From the bottom lane now to the penthouse all the way up to lane number 3. That Toyota goes to the top spot off of turn number 4. It's Ty Gibbs side by side for second. Here comes Bubba Wallace on the inside.
Bubba Wallace takes a peek downstairs, and he'll pull even for the number 2 position. Wallace, a Talladega winner in his Cup Series career. He has drafting help behind him from his teammate. That's Riley Herbst giving him a shove to turn 1.
Bubba Wallace with help from Herbst. He wants a piece of the action now. He'll pull to the inside of the Ty Gibbs machine. Side by side, the battle for the lead into turn number 2. Give the top spot to Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace thought about going up to the outside lane, and he does so coming out of turn number 2. Wallace goes up and blocks John Hunter Nemechek along with the Ty Gibbs machine. That leaves the bottom open for Riley Herbst. Herbst challenging Wallace for the lead.
Herbst thunders to the inside of Bubba Wallace in turn number 3. He'll try to slide up in front of his Toyota teammate. He does. 23-11, 1 and 2 on the top lane, leaving the bottom open now for Daniel Suarez in his Chevrolet.
Daniel Suarez to the bottom of the racetrack, now pulls up alongside for position number 2 and leads the inside behind Riley Herbst. He has drafting help from Bubba Wallace as the outside lane as they form up again in rows of 2.
Haven't heard a lot from Daniel Suarez this afternoon either until just now, but he has methodically made his way up through the field into a side-by-side battle for the lead off turn 2.
Daniel Suarez pokes the nose of his Chevrolet Camaro out front on the inside lane for only but a moment as the outside lane now starts to get some momentum. Here comes Riley Herbst, Bubba Wallace, and Ty Gibbs pushing that outside lane forward.
New players in the game at the front of the field as Daniel Suarez will surge now to the race lead. Up the hill he goes to pick up Riley Herbst to the top spot, leaving Joey Logano bottom side of the racetrack, picking up Ryan Blaney as they scream off turn 4.
Now those two Team Penske Ford Mustang dark horses are trying to work their way back to the front of the field, and they are strong. Joey Logano will be lead change number 51 at the line. 134 laps on the board, 54 to go in the race.
Kyle Larson brings his Chevy in. 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR.
Here for Ryan Blaney, 4 tires with Sunoco fuel.
From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
NASCAR history.
Petty wins his 200th career NASCAR victory.
Told by the people who made that history.
President Reagan was there. He got us on the front page, and we got him in the sports page. It was a good trade-off from that standpoint.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast The Road to Royalty. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, 50 Years of MRN, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
Team Penske at the front of the field. They go 1-2 with Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney there. Brad Keselowski's up to 3rd, Daniel Suarez 4th, and Riley Herbst round out the top 5. 53 to go from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
NASCAR fans, get ready to feel the rush. The official NASCAR Tracks app is your ultimate race day companion. From managing your event tickets to navigating with wayfinding maps, event schedules, and facility info, it's got everything you need to make your experience unforgettable.
Ready, green flag, green
Bring
flag.
your headphones and dive into the action like never before with live scanner access.
Got a race to win, my man.
Listen in on driver and team communications at select NASCAR Tracks. Download NASCAR Tracks now on the Apple App Store or Google Play.
One last exhale.
Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day one. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Front 7 cars are single file, and they're huddled up right down on the bottom lane of the racetrack, continuing to be led by Joey Logano. Gives us the opportunity to revisit some of the keys to winning today's race, presented by Progressive Insurance. Insurance for motorcycles, boats, and RVs. For protection on the road and on the water, see what you can save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com. Todd?
Yeah, the first one I had is first you must finish to finish first. Be aware of situations, get out of bad situations. We've seen that bite a couple players here, really one being the 9 of Chase Elliott, sent to the garage in that first incident. But that's one to just be aware, especially now we're trying to just save fuel, get to that last pit stop, and then work our way forward from there. As we talk about that, the second one was win the fuel game. Save on track and be efficient with your fuel getting plugged in at stops. We've seen that kind of work your way around, especially as we come back to one more set of stops before we finish this race. Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney put themselves out front, kind of where they need to be. They need to be out there and contending for a win. Got to have a efficient pit stop. And the last one I had is have loyal friends getting you to the final laps. The last laps, you must be selfish, so get in position and force others to help you.
A lot of friends right now at the front of the field, mainly the Fords lined up on the inside of the racetrack, led by Team Penske, Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney, and then the RFK Fords of Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, and Ryan Preece just behind them, and it's the inside lane that is continuing to advance through the field. Anthony Alfredo coming to life in the extreme outside in that third lane here, that three-wide racing beginning just into the top 10. He has some drafting help with Michael McDowell as they get wound up topside as the leaders are back in turn 1.
Into turns 1 and 2, the 33-degree banking, and yes, indeed, the Fords have surged to the front right now. Team Penske, which came in well below the cut line, right where they want to be at the moment.
Those Fords, again, lead the pack out of turn number 2, mainly grouped up on the bottom side of the racetrack. Joey Logano is the lead car. Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, and Ryan Preece.
Ford's on the bottom, and then it's Anthony Alfredo with a pair of Chevrolets way upstairs at the top lane of the racetrack with Michael McDowell. In the middle, though, the Monster Energy Toyota of Tyler Reddick trying to find some help with Kyle Busch.
Anthony Alfredo shouldn't be a surprise talking about him towards the front of the field in a cup car here at Talladega. 2 career top 10 finishes at this level. Both of them came at this track, and he led a career-high 19 laps here at Talladega earlier in April, and he's got that outside lane behind him.
He's the leader of the band in that 3-wide lane, but right now he's got some company 2 rows deep on the inside. Tyler Reddick in the middle, trying to lead the second group forward.
Tyler Reddick is there. You can also throw a couple of other cars in that middle lane trying to move forward. They just don't, at the moment, have the momentum. Inside lane surges forward, this time to turn 3. Joey Logano being pushed by Ryan Blaney.
And that middle groove still trying to get rally back together with Reddick as well as Kyle Busch and Riley Herbst. But you mentioned it, Tim, the bottom lane, the Fords are strong off at turn number 4 with Logano still leading Blaney and Brad Keselowski.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. .47 laps to go at the Talladega Superspeedway in the Yellawood 500 for the NASCAR Cup Series. Joey Logano is the race leader over Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Anthony Alfredo, and Tyler Reddick, the top 5. Today's race has seen 24 different leaders. That's a new record. 51 different lead changes and 4 cautions for 19 laps.
Got cars that are beginning to slow. Looks like Riley Herbst, Tim Catalfamo had to bail out in the middle of the draft.
Yeah, a scary moment. I'm not sure what's wrong with that Toyota, but he came way off the pace, and everybody remarkably avoided hitting him. That was a close call.
And Riley Herbst now has moved his Toyota to the bottom of the racetrack as the field screams by. He is going painfully slow, but off the groove. Look like he's going to head to pit road, and as he drives by me, it looks like the tires are up, but a problem for Riley Herbst.
Herbst had been running in the 11th spot. He is slow off of turn 4, heading to the pit lane as the rest of the leaders are back in turn 2.
Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, nose to tail in the low lane. Anthony Alfredo leading the second group. He's side by side with Keselowski.
Anthony Alfredo continues to impress this afternoon in that Beard Motorsports Chevrolet Camaro. He is in the middle lane right now. To his right is Michael McDowell. To his inside is Brad Keselowski.
The problem is they have been locked up tight at the front of the field with Blaney shoving Joey Logano out ahead by a full car length. The top 2, both Penske Fords, now clear of the rest of the field as they race side by side for third with Alfredo and Brad Keselowski.
Making their way back down to the tri-oval, Riley Herbst, who is towards the front of the field, bailed out of the draft. Brad Gilly, what's going on pit lane?
They think his car is blowing up. They had an issue earlier with debris that was actually in front of the radiator. The last round of pit stops, they tried to get it cleared out, but Riley all of a sudden bailed. His spotter said, "We think he's blowing up." He came down pit road. I could still hear the engine running. They told him to go to the garage, but instead he went to his pit box, and as soon as he did, I could see the window net go down. Riley is still in the car right now, but they're pushing him behind the wall.
Heading back to the NASCAR Cup Series garage, tough break for Riley Herbst, who had a good day going on the lead lap. It's Joey Logano out front, 45 laps to go in Talladega.
Hey, race fans, it's an adrenaline-packed day here at the Yellawood 500. Yellawood brand pressure-treated pine is known by homeowners and trusted by builders because of its high standards, unrivaled protection, and naturally beautiful appearance. Stunning decks and breathtaking outdoor building projects set the stage for lasting memories with family and friends. So, for your own 5-star backyard, start with Yellawood brand products. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
The year was 1993. The NASCAR Cup Series season kicked off with the Dale and Dale Show at the Daytona 500.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. He goes to the inside. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500 by STP. Earnhardt second.
The 1993 NASCAR Cup Series season. All the highs and lows. Relive them all on MRN's exclusive podcast, The 1993 Season. Available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
2 and 3 wide racing at the Talladega Superspeedway as we get down to it. 43 laps to go when they hit the line. Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Team Penske, they go 1-2. We'll pick back up with the racing when we come back. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
We are the voice of NASCAR.
The green flag is in the air, and we are underway. The Great American Race.
The Motor Racing Network. NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and Craftsman Truck Series Racing live on your hometown radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com. Martinsville, Talladega, the Chicago Street Course. We have the side-by-side action and last lap passes for the win.
Photo finishes. Ryan Blaney will win.
The voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
Go behind the scenes and into the garages of the sport's top teams and drivers on NASCAR Hot Pass.
You know, if you win, then your problems are likely solved.
There's going to be issues with track limits in the S's, right? Because they're just tight.
A normal occurrence is qualifying from 28th to 32nd. That's just something we're going to continue to keep on working on.
It's the latest information you want to know on NASCAR Hot Pass. Weekdays on the Motor Racing Network.
Back at Talladega Superspeedway, 42 laps to go, no change up front. Still Team Penske 1 and 2 with Ryan Blaney. Just behind race leader Joey Logano. Michael McDowell to get that second lane coming toward the front of the field. He leads them up to the third spot right now as they hit the tri-oval.
Yeah, he just can't quite get the push he needs from behind. He's got Anthony Alfredo there. Alfredo now this time latches onto that back bumper. They move to second. Now they're trying to take the lead away.
Around the outside, looking for the number 1 position. Logano and Blaney trying to hold them off on the inside. Anthony Alfredo giving a big kick in the shorts to Michael McDowell.
Michael McDowell trying to take the lead away from Joey Logano with some assistance from Anthony Alfredo. Now Alfredo falls off of the back bumper of McDowell and allows Ryan Blaney to shove Joey Logano back to the lead.
He gave him a huge shove, Tim, into turn number 3 and 4 as Logano will stretch out his lead over Ryan Blaney as well as Brad Keselowski. They're going to have to rally the troops in that middle lane for Michael McDowell, the pole sitter, with Anthony Alfredo right behind as they fall to 5th.
They make their way back to the tri-oval. 40 laps to go here in the Yellawood 500. So here's how they're running. Brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, official partner of NASCAR. Fans of fast get real unlimited data on reliable 5G with no contracts or hidden fees. Now at StraightTalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless.
Joey Logano led the most recent lap just a moment ago. Lap number 148 on the board over Ryan Blaney, Michael McDowell, Brad Keselowski, and Chris Buescher, the top 5. Anthony Alfredo, challenging for the lead a few laps ago, has fallen to 6th. Ryan Preece is 7th. Then it's Ty Dillon in 8th. Ty Gibbs 9th. And Ross Chastain up and into the top 10.
11th is Kyle Busch. Tyler Reddick is 12th. And Christopher Bell 13th. Todd Gilliland is 14th. Zane Smith is 15th. Shane Van Gisbergen rebounding from a spin. He's up to 16th. William Byron 17th. Daniel Suarez is 18th. Kyle Larson 19th. And Denny Hamlin is 20th.
Bubba Wallace runs in the 21st spot. John Hunter Nemechek 22nd. Chase Briscoe 23rd. Alex Bowman 24th. And Cole Custer 25th. Then it's Carson Hocevar still on the lead lap in 26th, along with Austin Hill 27th. Cody Ware 28th. Casey Mears 29th. And Austin Dillon 30th.
31st is B.J. McLeod. He's the last car running, albeit 6 laps down. In 32nd on back, they are off the track and out of the race. Riley Herbst 32nd. Josh Berry 33rd. Eric Jones 34th. 35th, Noah Gregson. 36th, A.J. Allmendinger. 37th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 38th is Justin Haley. 39th to Austin Cindric. And 40th to Chase Elliott.
At Napa, we've spent the last 100 years building our business into an engine that powers yours. Whether you're big or small, national or local, Napa has the automotive solutions your business needs to stay moving. And it's all driven by a nationwide network of quality parts and exceptional service on one mission: to keep your business moving full speed ahead. That's why we are the pros that know.
Napa know-how.
So I just switched to Straight Talk Wireless.
Uh-oh, we just ran out of gas.
Great. Gives us time to watch the race.
You know the next town is 50 miles away, right?
Don't worry. I have real unlimited data now.
But how are we going to get out of here?
We got about 200 laps before we need to figure that out.
Get a free 5G phone with select plans and real unlimited data only for a limited time at Straight Talk. Available at your local Walmart and straighttalk.com. Straight Talk is an official partner of NASCAR. Taxes and fees apply. Require single line activation on a qualifying plan for network management practices with straighttalk.com. Copyright 2025 Verizon. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
Back down to the line they come here at Talladega. 3 wide for a moment. Joey Logano will squeeze back out in front of the field. And for 6 rows behind him, they continue 3 wide racing. It's incredible here at the Talladega Superspeedway. We're down to 37 laps to go in the Yellawood 500. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Don't risk losing the trusted news, traffic, sports, and weather you get from AM radio stations. It's time to make your voice heard. We need Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars. When internet and cell services are out, AM could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 39179 and tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
The message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Looking for motorsports podcasts you won't find anywhere else? Check out the Motor Racing Network's lineup of exclusive podcasts. MRN Classic Races, Junior's Journey, The Many Hats of Jack Roush, Richard Petty, Road to Royalty, 50 Years of MRN, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, and The Tough Trucks of NASCAR. Find these and more MRN exclusive podcasts on podcast providers and MRN.com.
Back here at Talladega Superspeedway, Logano back up front after Ross Chastain took his turn at the front of the field. Ryan Blaney second, Christopher Bell goes third. You know, they're by themselves at the bottom of the racetrack, and you can try to add Chris Buescher there, but Christopher Bell won't allow him to be single file. 2 wide there, then 3 wide through the rest of the pack. Dave Moody, it never ceases to amaze when you come to Talladega, the type of racing you get. I think you mentioned it earlier. It kind of lulls you into believing that this is just normal.
Yeah, you might think if you saw enough of this that it was actually easy. It's incredibly hard. They're inches apart, an amazing amount of precision just to turn a single lap like this, much less lap after lap after lap.
And all of that 3 wide racing continues lap after lap after lap from about 6th on back. Front 3 cars are single file and by themselves at the bottom of the racetrack. No challenging from the outside. Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, and Brad Keselowski. Then they go 2 wide with Chris Buescher and Christopher Bell. And then that 3 wide racing behind them. Ryan Preece has Ross Chastain and Shane Van Gisbergen to his outside. That battle back in turn 1.
Van Gisbergen has crawled his way forward after that spin heading to pit road a few laps ago. He is back and solidly in the top 10, leading the extreme 3 wide line on turn 2.
Shane Van Gisbergen is there on that 3rd lane against the outside wall. So is Daniel Suarez. Those 2 Chevrolet Camaros trying to work together. Daniel Suarez got in the back of SVG. Almost turned him sideways. They raced to 3.
And they still stay together on that 3rd and high lane around the outside of Talladega Superspeedway, but a scary moment for a pair of Trackhouse Chevrolets. Meanwhile, Christopher Bell still leading that middle lane, but out front it's Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney.
As the laps get fewer, 33 to go here in the Yellawood 500. So, Todd Gordon, you've won here 4 times as a crew chief in the NASCAR Cup Series. When would you ideally like to bring your driver off the track for what could be the final pit stop?
Well, as I look at it, when everybody came, it looks like lap 123 to 125 is where they came to pit road. With the pace we're running, I think we've got fuel. We can get to about lap 170. That'd be 18 to go. I wanna run that as long as I can. I want to get to the point and be the last one to pit, unless a caution comes. That's going to be a caveat that could put us behind. But I'm looking to get another 15 laps out of this run.
Let's find out what the crew chiefs are saying down on the pit lane with 33 laps to go. Steve Post.
Yeah, and listening to the conversation, I think Todd's right on the mark with it as far as what they want to do. Been following along with Michael McDowell. He won the pole position. Travis Peterson and Michael just had a conversation, and honestly, it's rare when you hear a crew chief and driver have a long-term conversation, especially when Michael's in the middle and 3 wide, as he is now. But the conversation was, Michael said, how are we doing or where we need to be? And Travis said, we started a little behind everybody on fuel, meaning maybe they didn't get as much fuel in the car as they needed. He says, you've done a really, really good job, and we are right even with everybody else now on fuel. Just keep riding. Don't go to the 3rd lane. Stay in the 2nd lane, so when the wave of pit stops happen, we're in a good spot. So I don't know when that is, but I know they are really talking about it and really burning up the calculators down here on figuring out fuel mileage. Jason Troy, what are you hearing on your section of pit road?
A lot of these highly educated engineers have got that calculator out trying to figure it out too, especially how far back within that pack you've been running and been able to save fuel. Brad Keselowski, they early on today, they were up front. They had to pull it back because they were going through fuel quickly. They've been pretty pleased with the way it's been running right now. They've told him you're running steady. Christopher Bell, he has been calm, cool, collective. Tad Boyd, his sponsor, they have just been trying to position the race car where they go. They have been conserving everything too, trying to pull back on what they're getting. But the biggest thing right now, and what Todd talked about, don't want to be that first one. You definitely want to be the last one. When do you come to pit road? That's the discussion a lot of them are having right now here on the middle section. About in front of you, Brad Gillick.
When it comes to fuel conservation, they've been working on Ryan Preece all day, and they think they've got it. He was actually told that he's saved enough fuel during this stint to be right on the plan that they wanted to have. Now, when it comes to options, you look at Ryan Blaney right now running right behind teammate Joey Logano, who is out front. You look at Ross Chastain, who tried to pull a train up to the front of the field, and you look at some of the other cars, including William Byron. They actually were called down to pit road right before we went back to green before the end of this stage. So they have a little bit extra Sunoco fuel in their tank to give them that option to see how long they want to stay out or how little time or lesser time they can spend on pit road.
Yeah, it looked like Alex Bowman bailed out of the draft, not necessarily by design. He has lost the draft in a big way by the tone of the full length of the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. We have our 25th different leader, our 54th different lead change. Todd Gilliland's at the front of the field now for Front Row Motorsports.
Hello? Hey, it's your man Tank. Watching you hold back tears swallowing that celery stick. It's a hard sight to see, Tim.
I'm almost done. Just let me get this down.
Stop it, man. Seriously. We don't have to do this to us.
You're right. I hate veggies so much. How can I be more like you?
Hey, buddy, I am you. Just full of meat. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, official meat snack of NASCAR. Feed your wild side.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults age 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco.
Hey, it's Ryan Blaney, 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion. If you know me, I did Black Buffalo Long Cut. Black Buffalo is America's only credible smokeless tobacco alternative. Black Buffalo was established in America in 2015, and it dips just like the real thing, without the tobacco leaf or stem. You can find Black Buffalo at thousands of retailers across the USA near you. Black Buffalo Tobacco Alternative. If it's everything you love about dip, nothing you don't.
Inside lane surges forward, and Joey Logano will reassume the race lead. However, the momentum shifts again to the 2nd lane, and Todd Gilliland in his yellow car pulls even with the yellow car of Logano as they fly past the line. Joey Logano will lead that lap by 2/1000ths of a second. 28 laps to go, and an impending pit stop remains. From Talladega Superspeedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The The Tough Trucks of NASCAR, an exclusive podcast from the Motor Racing Network.
Ron Hornaday, green flag is in the air, and he will take the field quickly to turn 1.
Relive the moments of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from its debut in 1995.
Checkered flag in the air, Skinner wins from the inaugural for the NASCAR Truck Series by Craftsman.
The legends of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Todd Bodine wins 4 in a row on super speedways.
The Tough Trucks of NASCAR, available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
We are under the green flag.
Listen up, NASCAR fans. Now's the time to turn your love of racing into big-time prizes. Because NASCAR Fantasy Live is your fast lane to bragging rights.
Serious racing here.
Pick 5 drivers each week of the season. Then complete additional challenges to stack points. All for your shot at the grand prize.
So let's get this party started.
For official rules and to learn more, visit NASCAR.com/fantasy and sign up today.
This time by, there will be 26 circuits remaining in the Yellawood 500. Joey Logano has the lead at the bottom of the racetrack, but Kyle Rickey, that second lane just simply won't go away.
Won't go away, led by Todd Gilliland, who led last time by 13 thousandths of a second. Now at the front of the field, he fades to third, leading the outside, but to his inside, Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney.
It is Gilliland, then Denny Hamlin, and William Byron, the top 3, followed by Kyle Larson and Daniel Suarez in the high line.
Those cars trying to inch their way forward, and they're making progress up the Alabama Gang super stretch. Here is Todd Gilliland, the first car on that outside lane, even with Ryan Blaney for second place.
But as that top lane makes progress, so too do the Penske Fords on the inside lane as Joey Logano gets a huge shot in the shorts from Ryan Blaney, gets back out front by about a half a car length as Blaney will continue to push off forward.
The lanes just simply have an ebb and a flow. It looks like going into the corners and the midpoint, the bottom lane seems to have the momentum. But by the time they get things wound up, Dave, on exit of where you're standing in turn number 2, outside lane begins to surge.
That's exactly right. Ryan Blaney has been the consummate teammate for Joey Logano here of late. He gives him a good bump going into the corners and down the straightaways, and he has thrown some vicious side drafts on that outside line.
Ryan Blaney has been helping his teammate Joey Logano for sure. Both Logano and Blaney against the double yellow line. Here is Todd Gilliland with some drafting assistance from Denny Hamlin. 2x2 for the race lead.
Hamlin giving an assistance to Todd Gilliland, but they're a little bit more spread apart on that middle lane, the outside of the 2x2 scenario into turns 3 and 4 as Logano now looks for Ryan Blaney, and there he is as Blaney gives him another shove off forward.
Side-by-side racing through the field, 24 laps to go this time by, and a pit stop still to be made, hearing within about 10 laps or so of some of these leaders. Most of the leaders heading toward the pit lane for the final time this afternoon as Gilliland and Logano go back to 1.
Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney tag teaming their way here at Talladega in that low line. Gilliland up high with drafting help from Denny Hamlin.
Behind Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney, third car to the inside of the racetrack. There is where you find the Ford Mustang of Brad Keselowski. Keselowski has got Chris Buescher and Ryan Preece behind him. Those 3 RFK cars working well together.
Certainly are, Tim. 2 Penske Fords, 3 RFK Ford Mustangs on the bottom side of the racetrack as they now move to the middle groove to get around the lap machine of Alex Bowman. Off of corner number 4, still neck and neck at the top spot between Logano and Todd Gilliland.
23 laps to go. Todd Gordon, in one of your progressive keys to winning the Yellawood 500, I believe it was your final key. Make sure you surround yourself with friendly people to be able to help you. With a pit stop still to go, you got to get your friendlies with you to get organized, let alone try to win the race.
Yeah, and I think when you look at this right now, I think the Team Penske cars have got a good scenario set up for them. Both Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney, the first 2 cars in that bottom lane, with 3 RFK Fords that are very capable right behind them, and a kind of Ford teammate in Todd Gilliland controlling the top lane. I think they're in a good position as we approach these pit stop cycles.
Trouble in turn number 2. Cody Ware goes for a spin. I'm not sure if he spun off the racetrack or if he was coming off pit road and has spun down onto the pit exit. Either way, that's where he has come to a stop. The Arby's machine at a dead stop between 1 and 2.
And that puts us under the caution flag for the 5th time this afternoon at Talladega with 22 laps to go.
Hey, listen to this.
All it needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hi, folks. Kyle Petty here. I want to tell you about a place that's dear to my heart, Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by making a donation today. Any amount will help kids attend camp for free. Help make a difference by visiting victoryjunction.org/donate.
Pit stops are forthcoming from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults age 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco.
Hey, it's Ryan Blaney, 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion. If you know me, I did Black Buffalo Long Cut. Black Buffalo is America's only credible smokeless tobacco alternative. Black Buffalo was established in America in 2015, and it dips just like the real thing, without the tobacco leaf or stem. You can find Black Buffalo at thousands of retailers across the USA near you. Black Buffalo Tobacco Alternative. If it's everything you love about dip, nothing you don't.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-212-2828. 800-212-2828. That's 800-212-2828.
Back at Talladega Superspeedway in the closing laps here this afternoon in the Yellawood 500 for the NASCAR Cup Series. 22 laps to go. Joey Logano shown as the race leader over Todd Gilliland, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, and William Byron. Also Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson, Ryan Preece, and Daniel Suarez among the top 10.
We expect everybody to pit lane once it opens up here, hopefully this time by. But if you recall, fourth-place driver Denny Hamlin had a bit of an issue leaving his pit box last time with a clutch problem. And with the entire field we anticipate coming to pit road, if he tries to pull out of his pit box and can't really get going, we could have ourselves a bit of a scenario on pit road. We'll have to pay really close attention to how Denny Hamlin is able to get that car back up to speed once he exits his pit box. But we're down to it. 21 to go here in the Yellawood 500. Joey Logano leads Todd Gilliland. Ryan Blaney is third. Denny Hamlin fourth. And Brad Keselowski fifth. William Byron sixth. Chris Buescher seventh. Kyle Larson is eighth. Ryan Preece is ninth. And Daniel Suarez is 10th.
Then it's Ty Dillon in 11th. Shane Van Gisbergen in 12th. Kyle Busch 13th. Christopher Bell 14th. And Chase Briscoe 15th. Anthony Alfredo in the 16th spot. Zane Smith in 17th. Michael McDowell 18th. Ross Chastain 19th. And Carson Hocevar to round out the top 20.
21st is Ty Gibbs. Tyler Reddick is 22nd. Bubba Wallace is 23rd. And John Hunter Nemechek 24th. Cole Custer goes 25th. Austin Hill currently is the last car on the lead lap in 26th. However, Casey Mears will get the free pass. He will now be the last car on the lead lap. He'll be 27th. One lap down is Alex Bowman in 28th. Then Cody Ware in 29th. He'll fall down the leaderboard after bringing us under this caution flag. Austin Dillon rounds out the top 30.
BJ McLeod, the last driver running right now in 31st. Everybody else in the garage and out of the race, including Riley Herbst, Josh Berry, Eric Jones. Austin Cindric has been on and off of the pit lane and in and out of the garage right now, running in 35th. Noah Gregson, 36th. A.J. Allmendinger, 37th. Ricky Stenhouse, Justin Haley, and Chase Elliott, as all of the race leaders are on the pit lane, Brad Gilly.
3.5 seconds of fuel for Joey Logano. He's down and away. Quicker stop for Ryan Blaney. He gets out before Logano. Jason Toy.
Sorvell makes a stop. A little bit of fuel. As a matter of fact, a little bit more fuel for him. He's going to lose some spots on pit road. Denny Hamlin still sits there with the hood up. Seat post.
Ryan Blaney wins the race off from pit road. Him and Joey Logano are the first two off from pit road. In on this pit stop, Michael McDowell was in. There goes Cole Custer out. Chase Briscoe is in. Extended stop for Carson Hocevar here on pit road. These pit stops, lap number 168.
There was some contact on the pit lane. William Byron, trying to pull out of his pit box, made contact with Bubba Wallace, who looked like he was trying to make the left-hand turn into his box. Not sure if there's damage to the right front corner of that Raptor Chevrolet of playoff contender William Byron, but there absolutely was some contact made.
Championship 4 contender Denny Hamlin still on the pit lane, so they continue to work on that car as we go to the pit road and Jason Toy.
Yeah, it continues to be the same issue for Denny here this time. They got one of the engine guys going up underneath to take a look at things. They're working through cycling some things on the electronic side of things too, but definitely something in the drivetrain here for Denny Hamlin that's keeping him from pulling away once he comes to a stop.
It's a good thing Denny Hamlin has that win from a week ago at Las Vegas Motor Speedway to go ahead and advance him into the Championship 4 in Phoenix in 2 weeks' time, which we will have for you right here on the Motor Racing Network. Before we get there, though, everybody will pack up the trucks and head to South Central Virginia, to the Martinsville Speedway. Can't wait to be there. It's a perfect time of year to be in Virginia with the leaves changing colors and racing on the shortest racetrack we run on at the Martinsville Speedway. I know Clay Campbell and his team have that track all prettied up and ready to go for us to get there.
All the action starts on Thursday night with the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. Their final race of the season, Austin Beers has a 14-point advantage over Justin Bonsignor. Ron Silk, the most recent winner last week at Thompson. So the Modifieds here on the Motor Racing Network. Thursday night, 7:30 Eastern Time for the Virginia is for Racing Lovers 300. Then it's a quick turnaround for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series and their final race before the Championship 4, the Slim Jim 200, next Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. NASCAR Cup Series, their practice and pole qualifying next Saturday, October 25th at 4:30 Eastern Time. That'll lead into the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at 7 p.m. Eastern from Martinsville. And then the final race in this round of 8 for the NASCAR Cup Series, the Xfinity 500, next Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock Eastern Time from the Martinsville Speedway.
Still under the caution flag as the teams that are a lap or more down have the opportunity to pit. There's some also lead lap cars that came in to top off the Sunoco fuel. We did not get the one to go this time by, so Todd, the big question now that pops into my mind is when we do get the one to go and the drivers choose what lane to restart in, first and second to choose will be Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano, Team Penske teammates, both needing a win to get into the next round or at least position themselves the best they can coming out of Talladega. So my question that pops into my mind is when you choose, do you choose to go nose to tail? Do you choose to go side by side on the front row?
Great question, and one that I don't know how they'll handle this. I think, obviously to me, I would think that you both pick the front row, and in the control car, Ryan Blaney gets a jump, and he probably picks the outside, leaving Joey on the inside. If he picks the outside, then they're going to try to play that game where he gets a little bit of a jump. By the time he gets to turn 1, he can clear down in front of Joey. They can control the race. If you choose behind each other, you're already lined up to push. You put Todd Gilliland as the opportunity to take the outside or the inside. I would think it'd be the outside. We'll have to see how they play this one out. There is some risk to picking both front rows because you've got to time it so that your speed's right to be able to make that clear at the right time to still get the engagement to get into turn 1.
So we'll see how these drivers choose here coming up in the next couple of moments from now as cleanup is about complete. The safety team still continuing to work on some of those weepers that we talked about earlier here on the front straightaway from the overnight rains as prior to the caution flag, the forwards were connected and had been for much of that long green flag run on the bottom with Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece. They were all very committed to each other on the inside prior to the yellow flag. Now they choose their lanes inside and out.
They do choose, Todd, and Team Penske both choose the bottom side of the racetrack.
The safer move because you're not working on timing it to get the right place. Joey will be lined up on Ryan Blaney's bumper and pushing. They'll go together, and they've got Todd Gilliland, another Ford, kind of a Ford teammate, OEM teammate, controlling the outside lane.
With Brad Keselowski and Ryan Preece also lined up on the bottom, so you'll have 4 of the 5 Fords that were there prior to the yellow there again. Chris Buescher, the only one missing, at least right now, among the leaders. He'll restart in the 7th position. As they're lined up and ready to go, we have 18 laps to go, 17 when they get the green flag here, this time by here in the Yellawood 500 at the Talladega Superspeedway. Blaney and Logano on the front row.
And we're just kind of looking through the binoculars back there, and Tim will bring you in on this over there on the back stretch. There's a lot of Fords inside the top 10. What's it look like behind Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano in the inside lane?
Well, you've got on the inside of the racetrack in that 3rd lane, or the 3rd row, I should say, Brad Keselowski. He's a fellow Ford driver going in the 4th car on the inside. That is Ryan Preece. Then you have several Chevrolet drivers that are lined up behind those Fords. Michael McDowell, Kyle Busch, a couple, and then few that are lined up there as well. So we'll see if the manufacturers work together at all on this restart. I'm sure that they will, but the Fords definitely have a stronghold right now at the front of the pack.
They have the advantage, no doubt, as they make up most of the front 3 rows as we get set for the restart. Blaney and Logano, pace car set to pull in this time, getting down to it here at the Talladega Superspeedway. 17 laps to go when they get the green flag this time by as the crowd comes to their feet here in the Tri-Oval.
Beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky, much different than when we started the race earlier this afternoon. Ryan Blaney, the control car in the bottom of the racetrack, hits the restart zone and punches the throttle. Blaney on the bottom. He's being matched stride for stride by Todd Gilliland topside. Gilliland's got Kyle Larson's red, white, and blue Chevrolet on his back bumper.
Nobody stepping to the 3 wide line, at least for the moment. Top 4 break away from that 3rd row by about a car length or so. Ryan Blaney has the lead by half a car length. Back on the outside. The outside lane with McDowell.
Todd Gilliland and everyone else racing hard for this top spot. Michael McDowell 5th in line on the inside of the racetrack. Here is Gilliland now with a push from Kyle Larson going to the lead.
Todd Gilliland takes over the top spot. He will move to the bottom side of turns 3 and 4, all against that yellow line. He picks up Ryan Blaney. Fellow Ford drivers, they go 1-2. Now Larson, the Lone Ranger, leading the top lane.
With a run in the top side of the racetrack for Kyle Larson, challenges for the 2nd spot, looking to pull up alongside Todd Gilliland for the race lead. Larson has help from Daniel Suarez topside as they go back to turn 1.
Kyle Larson on the charge to the outside lane, creeping up now on Gilliland for the number 1 position. They are side by side for the number 1 spot. On the outside, Larson sidewinds it off too.
Kyle Larson trying to get alongside and past Todd Gilliland for the race lead. Larson has got drafting help behind him in the form of Daniel Suarez. Suarez shoving Larson, Blaney shoving Gilliland.
Kyle Larson trying to break up the party of Ford Mustangs at the front of the field, but it's a strong move on the inside for Todd Gilliland. A full car length lead after a shove from Ryan Blaney. Off of 4, it's Gilliland by himself. Then a side-by-side battle for 2nd.
And he is not coming off the bottom of the racetrack. Speaking of current leader Todd Gilliland, he looks to his right, however. Here comes Kyle Larson. There's another Chevrolet on the back bumper of Larson. That's Daniel Suarez.
Suarez giving Larson a good push as the Chevrolet teammates work that outside lane. It's all Fords downstairs. Gilliland, Blaney, and Logano.
And this is the point of the race where the shoving and the bump drafting gets more and more aggressive. Drivers are starting to lose their patience. If they're in the middle of the pack, they want to go forward. However, right now, both lanes are blocked and held by Gilliland and Larson.
2 by 2 they go as Daniel Suarez continues to shove Kyle Larson in that middle lane, the outside groove of the double-filed situation. Larson now going to have a full head of steam off of turn number 4, trying to pull up alongside Todd Gilliland,
who continues to lead by a car length, double wide behind him. He's like the pace car in a high-speed pace lap right now until Kyle Larson gets a surge at the exit of the Tri-Oval. He goes to the front of the field in the top of the lane.
Kyle Larson for Hendrick Motorsports, Daniel Suarez for Trackhouse Racing. Impromptu teammates right now in the Chevy camp trying to make it work on the outside, but Gilliland will not go quietly.
Gilliland looking strong on the bottom side of the racetrack right now, and Dave mentioned the Fords that are all stacked up on the bottom side of the racetrack. In that bottom lane is Gilliland, Blaney, Logano, Keselowski, and Priest.
Ford's leading at the front of the field as here comes Kyle Larson on the outside lane, getting pushed by Daniel Suarez. You don't have to look too far back to find William Byron as well. No, he would like to be up there with Larson as they continue to roll the top side of the racetrack.
Everybody huddled, close quarters racing. Nobody gives an inch here as the laps get fewer. 13 to go here at Talladega. It's Gilliland on the bottom. You've got Kyle Larson topside and the Freeway Insurance Chevrolet of Daniel Suarez behind him.
From here on out, nobody expected to cut anybody any breaks. It's 2 by 2 all the way back to the top 20 or 24. At the front, Gilliland and Kyle Larson.
Watching William Byron. He is the fourth car in line on that outside. The problem for Byron is he's got nowhere to go, because if he steps out of line right now, he would go straight to the back.
He would, Tim Catalfamo, and he continues to ride behind Chris Buescher there, the fourth car on the outside lane. Meanwhile, back up front, Todd Gilliland surging ahead once again off turn number 4, leading by Ryan Blaney, and side by side with Kyle Larson.
Outside lane had to surge last time, inside, back to the front this time, led by Todd Gilliland, but now here comes Kyle Larson to the outside, and he'll swing to the bottom. Back up front, Kyle Larson to the inside of the racetrack, back in turn 1.
Larson crosses over to the bottom of the speedway to take the lead. Now that'll leave the outside, the middle lane, I should say, open for Daniel Suarez. There's a 3-wide line beginning to materialize.
Yeah, that line up against the outside wall is forming. They're back around the 10th spot. Here is Daniel Suarez with some drafting help from Chris Buescher. Buescher shoving him up the straightaway. Here comes Zane Smith, 3 wide on the outside.
Zane Smith putting it top shelf in turn number 3 as he goes a long way around. Daniel Suarez 3 wide now for the race lead at Talladega. Kyle Larson to the way low side. Daniel Suarez in the middle, and then Zane Smith up top.
It only took 3/4 of a lap from that outside lane to go from 15th to the race lead. Huntington Beach, California's Zane Smith leads at Talladega. He's got the field in the rearview mirror, stacked up 3 wide behind him.
Smith out of the shadows makes his charge toward the front of the pack. Zane Smith to the top of the heap, but back comes Larson as they surge around the lap car of Alex Bowman.
Oh, that was really tight coming out of turn number 2 as Bowman was in the way. Everyone was able to clear him, though, and now they race halfway up the Alabama Gang super stretch. It is Zane Smith with Ross Chastain shoving him back to 3.
Those two have checked out from the rest of the field by about 4 car lengths as Kyle Larson will try to surge ahead in that middle lane, that second groove off of the bottom. But up front, Zane Smith clear ahead with Chastain.
And Daniel Suarez, who was second 1 lap ago, has been kicked from the draft and will fall outside of the top 15. Barely hanging on to the lead pack as they cross the line, this time by with Zane Smith out front over Ross Chastain.
Smith and Chastain may have gotten too far out on the pack. They were actually too good in turn 4, and now the pack just gobbles up the daylight and is right back on their back bumper as they hit the back straightaway.
Todd Gilliland now riding in the middle part of the racetrack. Zane Smith downstairs against the double yellow line. That third lane up against the safer barrier. That's where Chris Buescher is. Todd Gilliland, though, the leader in 3.
And Chris Buescher able to make that top lane work in the 3 wide scenario because Bubba Wallace gave him the shove of all his might as Buescher tries to surge in the top 5. They're side by side off 4 with Zane Smith and Todd Gilliland.
Single-digit laps to go at Talladega. 9 laps to go this time by. Here they come back through the tri-oval. It's at the bottom of the racetrack where Zane Smith is by a fender. He's got his Front Row Motorsports teammate right beside him in Todd Gilliland.
Here they come into turn number 1. Gilliland inches ahead by about a half a car length. He'll go from the outside lane to the second to the bottom of the racetrack across the nose of Zane Smith.
Todd Gilliland with a nice move goes down to the bottom side of the racetrack, picks up Zane Smith. So those 2 Ford Mustangs teammates can now work with each other. Just as I say that, though, Gilliland goes up to the middle, opens up the inside for Zane Smith.
Zane Smith will pick back up with Ross Chastain, and Chastain will shove him back to the lead. Gilliland still riding in that middle lane will pick up Kyle Larson and Chris Buescher trying to make the 3 wide lane look for Ford.
Front Row Motorsports Fords trying to work together at the front of the field, but now they're side by side again for the top spot. Here comes Todd Gilliland, top of the racetrack, passes his teammate who continues to lead the bottom in Zane Smith with drafting help from Kyle Larson.
The Front Row Motorsports teammates have not really linked up that often. The main pusher, especially for Gilliland, has been Ross Chastain. For the moment, though, they'll go nose to tail in the low line.
Yeah, they have found each other, Dave, on the bottom side of the racetrack. Now Gilliland out of turn number 2, jumps up to the middle lane. He blocks Kyle Larson. Larson has got his Hendrick Motorsports teammate William Byron right behind him.
Say you talk about the Fords picking up each other with Front Row. How about Hendrick Motorsports now in the middle lane with Larson leading his teammate William Byron. Christopher Bell has joined the fray, and on that third lane, here comes Chase Briscoe back to the front.
To the line this time, 7 laps to go. Alex Bowman will make his way off the pit lane. Lead draft comes blasting by him. It's Kyle Larson back to the lead. He's got his Hendrick Motorsports teammate William Byron pushing him to the point.
Let's see how long they can keep possession of that lead. Not for long. Charging around the outside. The challenge is on again in the person of Chase Briscoe. He'll go to the lead on the outside.
Chase Briscoe with a nice head of momentum coming out of turn number 2. Kyle Larson tried to slow him down, but he didn't have the help in the middle lane. Here is Chase Briscoe with a shove from Chris Buescher. Those two go 1-2 and they go to the bottom.
Strong push by Buescher leads Chase Briscoe to the top spot. Bubba Wallace now on the outside of Kyle Larson racing for third. Then it's 3 wide behind as you got a gaggle of race cars from William Byron on back.
Briscoe and Buescher clear the rest of the field. They are first and second. Everybody 2 and 3 wide behind them. Coming to 6 laps to go. Now Kyle Larson steps out of line with drafting help for Bubba Wallace to challenge for second. And now the lead topside.
Toyotas pushing Chevrolets. Fords pushing Toyotas. Strange bedfellows in the final laps here at Talladega. Front of the pack, Briscoe. Oh, he nearly got turned as he came off turn 2.
Chase Briscoe, a scary moment. Got the car sideways coming off of the corner. Here is Kyle Larson now in the middle lane with some shoving from Bubba Wallace. It's Larson and Briscoe neck and neck.
Strong move for Bubba Wallace to get back to the back bumper of Kyle Larson as they lead that middle lane. But don't look now. Austin Hill has got help in the form of Anthony Alfredo as a couple of underdogs look to join the chat in the top 10 on the outside.
Austin Hill in that extreme outside lane. The third lane has help from Carson Hocevar, who is topside as well, as they are side by side, 3 rows in front of them. Larson inching out front by a car length over Chase Briscoe for the top spot with 5 laps to go.
Chase Briscoe, though, surges back to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll get a big shove from Chris Buescher midway between 1 and 2. Slides up into the second lane to block the advance. Now right back to the bottom across the nose of Byron.
Chase Briscoe driving out the rear view mirror right now. He's trying to keep all these cars at bay, but he can't block all of them. Here's Kyle Larson stepping to the left, going to the middle around Chris Buescher.
Playoff drivers rising to the top in the waning laps at Talladega as Chase Briscoe leads the field, running the bottom lane with William Byron in tow. Kyle Larson now trying to get the middle lane back formed up with Bubba Wallace in tow as Briscoe defends that middle line.
Down to 4 laps to go in the Yellawood 500. Up front, Chase Briscoe changes lanes, goes all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, picks up the draft from William Byron. Byron not happy there, changes lanes. Oh, Briscoe tried to block and it was too late. Here comes Byron.
Chase Briscoe now had to give up that second groove. He'll hug the bottom with drafting help down low. Byron trying to rim ride his way around the outside in lane number 2. They're side by side for the lead.
William Byron, Chase Briscoe side by side for the top spot up the Alabama gang super stretch. Byron now shoots out to the lead. Larson shoving them. Here comes Bubba Wallace busting a move to the inside.
Bubba Wallace shoved both the Hendrick Motorsports teammates, then ditched them for the bottom of the racetrack, and now Bubba Wallace going to try to challenge for the top spot, wheel to wheel with William Byron. Bubba Wallace on the bottom gets help from Chase Briscoe.
Didn't look like Bubba Wallace was going to have much help there, but here comes Chase Briscoe, Todd Gilliland to the inside along with Zane Smith. That'll propel Bubba Wallace to the inside of William Byron and to the race lead. He'll lead that lap by 3,000ths of a second with 3 to go.
Bare knuckle time at Talladega Superspeedway. Bubba Wallace on the inside. William Byron on the outside. Briscoe and Larson 2 by 2 behind them.
That's how they run, exiting turn number 2. Bubba Wallace and William Byron side by side. Don't forget about that third lane up against the outside wall. That's being led by Chris Buescher. They're 3 wide from second. I'm back with Byron as the leader.
Here comes Chris Buescher with the help of Carson Hocevar, going to pull up to the outside of William Byron. Buescher around the long way. Here at the top shelf in turn number 4 is going to look for the race lead on William Byron.
He's got a full head of steam topside. William Byron occupies the lane just to his left. Inside lane begins to surge as well. It's being being led by Bubba Wallace. 2 laps to go in the Yellawood 500 as they race back to turn number 1.
Anybody's ball game as they hit the banking in turn number 1. For the moment, it's going to be Chris Buescher. He's in the middle lane, slides up to throw a block on Byron. Byron goes to the bottom. Buescher dives down to block him again.
Can you hold your breath for 2 more laps? Chris Buescher goes from the middle and now back up to the top. Oh, and around goes Chris Buescher. He gets turned at the front of the pack and slams the inside wall hard on the back straightaway.
Caution flag comes out for the 6th time. A single car incident somehow, Tim Catalfamo, as Chris Buescher was running toward the front of the field when he got turned.
He put on a massive block coming out of turn number 2, did Chris Buescher. He moved from the middle lane up to the top, trying to block, I believe, William Byron. He then got turned, went into the inside retaining wall about halfway down the Alabama Gang super stretch, and has now come to a rest about 100 yards from my feet.
And that'll put us under the caution flag for the 6th time today. William Byron being scored currently as the race leader.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, Two Dudes in the Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
Want to know the latest with short track racing around the country? Well, one show has you covered, NASCAR Coast to Coast. Hi, I'm Chris Wilner. Join me each week as we break down the biggest headlines in grassroots racing and in NASCAR's regional and touring series. We'll also talk with rising stars from your favorite short track. Once again, it's NASCAR Coast to Coast, and you can watch or listen today on YouTube, Facebook, MRN.com, or on your favorite podcast platform.
Chris Buescher able to climb out of his battered race car under his own power. He'll take the mandatory trip to the infield care center and be checked out there. William Byron, the race leader. Kyle Larson, 2nd. Bubba Wallace, 3rd. Carson Hocevar, 4th. And Ty Gibbs rounds out the top 5. We are headed to overtime from Talladega Superspeedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hey guys, Corley Joy here. Make sure you catch Stag and Pennies on all the NASCAR platforms each week. We talk to some of our greatest drivers, winners, relevant stories. You never know who's going to show up.
Hall of Famers, everything. And you're going to get the best race highlights, the best content, the best scanner audio, the best reactions, and by far the best pit road breakdowns of any other podcast. Corey, where can they hear us?
You can find us on NASCAR on Tubi, SiriusXM Channel 90, wherever you find your podcasts, or on YouTube. Go check us out.
One last exhale. Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day one. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
We're headed to overtime here in the Yellawood 500. We'll explain that in just a moment because pit lane was open. And Steve Post, we had some drivers come to pit road.
Michael McDowell brought his car in. They were so close on fuel. Everybody here on pit road was, and they were running bare-knuckle racing 3 wide. They made the decision that they did not think they could go into overtime. So Michael McDowell was in. They put 4 tires on in Sunoco Racing Fuel, so they're good to go, but they'll be starting at the back of the pack. Jason Toy.
One taker in the middle section, Brad Keselowski. He took 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles on there, and they made sure they got the fuel in there to go as many extra time overtimes as they need to. Heard a couple of drivers talk about not to swerve back and forth. They've already flipped the switch to kind of give them that extra gallon they got in there in that reservoir tank, but it's going to be tight for them if they got to go a second overtime in the middle section. Brad?
Team Penske got shuffled to the back, so both Paul Wolf for Joey Logano and Jonathan Hassler for Ryan Blaney said we might as well come and get fuel. Ryan Blaney only in for 2 seconds of fuel. They actually put 4 seconds of fuel for Joey Logano in anticipation, and maybe this not being the only overtime restart we had. Now, monitoring right now race leader William Byron, they were nervous that they wouldn't make it to the end of regulation. Rudy Fugle kept him out. William Byron, all he wants to know is who he's going to be racing and restarting around.
Front 21 cars stayed out on the racetrack. Ryan Blaney, first off the pit lane, will restart 22nd. Then Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, and Michael McDowell will have a lot of cars to pass if they want a shot at this one here this afternoon. But you never know. We could go into overtime again, or the second overtime. This, of course, being a 2-lap run to the finish once we get into an overtime situation. The first lap, if it's completed under the green flag, and once the leader takes the white flag, the next flag would end it. So if a caution were to come out after once we begin the white flag lap after the leader crosses the start-finish line, that would freeze the field immediately, and the driver out front would get the race win. But we got to get there first, and we're still a couple of laps from getting there.
Yeah, we do. As we continue to work under the caution flag, let's take a trip around this 2.66-mile racetrack, bring our 3 turn announcers in, and give us a breakdown. Dave Moody over in turns 1 and 2, the types of things we've seen over in your portion of the racetrack today compared to what you expect to see in the next couple of laps.
Well, I think what we've seen in the last 10 laps, Alex, has been a pretty good indicator of what's coming. Nobody giving anybody much of a lift, just spectacular racing, 2 and 3 wide, leaders throwing tremendous blocking maneuvers, going 2 lanes up or 2 lanes down to shut off a run. I expect Tim Califano, we're going to see a bunch more of that before it's over.
I would agree with you, Dave. I kind of would look at it as almost as if you put a pot of water on the stove and you just let it kind of simmer a little bit. Then you start getting those bubbles. It starts coming to a boil, and then if you keep the lid on, it starts to overflow. That's, I think, at the point of the race that we are at right now. The drivers, their patience is out the window. They have an opportunity to win a race at Talladega, whether they're running first or 23rd. They're going to go for the win, and that could make some really exciting racing. Chris Wonder, what about you?
Oh, Tim, the intensity meter continues to just get turned up on the party deck here in Turn 4. A lot of the race fans have found spots on the railing just trying to catch a glimpse of this upcoming overtime finish. But to your guys' point, the blocking we've seen and the lane changes have been pretty aggressive the last 10 laps. I expect more of the same, especially off corner number 4, because that's where we see kind of those momentum changes with these 2 different lanes, and whoever can make that race-winning move will certainly have to do it here off Turn 4 coming to the checkered flag.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Should be interesting once we get underway here for this final sprint to the finish. Let's take a look at the playoffs as they run right now. Of course, Denny Hamlin picked up that win last week in Las Vegas. He is advanced to the championship 4. William Byron is the race leader, so that would put him through. Kyle Larson, as they run, is 23 to the good, and then it gets tight between Christopher Bell, who is just 3 points above the cut line over Chase Briscoe. Joey Logano, 49 back in 6th. Ryan Blaney, 50 back in 7th. And then Chase Elliott, the first car out of this race, 66 points back in the 8th position. But still a long way to go and at least a little over 5 miles of racing to be run as the field doubles up into their rows of 2.
They do. It looks like the 2 Hendrick Motorsports cars, William Byron, Kyle Larson, first and second to choose. Byron chooses the bottom. Larson takes the top side. The 3rd place car to choose was Carson Hocevar. He elected the bottom of the racetrack. He drives for Spire Motorsports, but they've got an affiliation with Hendrick Motorsports there as well. Then you got Toyotas and Bubba Wallace, Christopher Bell, and Chase Briscoe. 2 to go, I should say, Todd. We're in overtime. We've reached that point, I think. You can surround yourself with friendlies all you want. Is it every man for themselves right now?
It is, especially when you look at it, because 4 of the top 6 cars right now are behind, they're still in the playoffs. They all could get the win, and they all want their own win. It's not a company win. I need my win, so I don't have to go to Martinsville and worry about it next week.
In the playoffs and wanting to lock their way into the championship 4 at the Phoenix Raceway in just 2 weeks from now. And Todd mentioned the Martinsville Speedway, another unpredictable racetrack. Different, though, a half mile and a lot of contact there next Sunday afternoon at the Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. As we are set for the restart, we'll try it first overtime of the day, something that has been common here this weekend. We saw it in the trucks, saw it in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and we get it here for the NASCAR Cup cars. Pace car on the pit lane, set to go with 2 to run.
Here they come as they make their way into the tri-oval. The restart zone is right in the middle of the tri-oval. Start-finish line exiting tri-oval on the short straightaway. William Byron, the inside lane. He's the control car. His teammate Kyle Larson is topside. Green flag goes back in the air. Overtime in the yellawood 500. Byron has drafting help from Hocevar. Topside, it's Kyle Larson. He's got a bumper full of Bubba Wallace headed to turn number 1.
Into turn 1, and it is a dead heat. Inches apart, nobody gets the advantage. Now Byron by maybe a bumper. He's got Carson Hocevar riding in the back seat. That's how much drafting help he's getting.
Still 2 by 2 for the race lead. Headed up the Alabama Gang super stretch. William Byron on the bottom of the racetrack. Kyle Larson in the middle right now, being shoved by Bubba Wallace.
Dead heat into turn 3. Larson continues to get a shove from Bubba Wallace on the top side. On the bottom side, inching out ahead is William Byron. Carson Hocevar continues to shove as a third lane develops with Kyle Busch about 10th on that.
There comes Kyle Larson in the outside lane or the second lane to reassume the race lead. Had help from Bubba Wallace, will cross over to the bottom, and now has drafting help from William Byron. It's Bubba Wallace at the line. White flag, 1 lap to go.
So the Hendrick Motorsports teammates trying to hook up, trying to get it done. Kyle Larson with the lead. Drafting help from William Byron in the second lane. Storming around the outside. Here comes Bubba Wallace.
This is it. Final time up the super stretch at Talladega. Kyle Larson is off the pace. He's below the double yellow line. Here is Bubba Wallace, now the race leader.